So, pretend there are 10 urinals.
Urinals.
Okay? Somebody's in urinal 5 and urinal 8.
We just going standard left to right?
Yeah, just 1 through 10. Somebody's in urinal 1, 5, and 8. Which urinal are you going to?
6 and
you
7.
Said 1,
6
5,
and
and 8.
7. 1, 5, and 8.
You leave 10 wide open.
3,
you go
obviously.
2 or 3.
Yeah, you got to go to 3.
10 or 3.
10 or 3.
Because 10
Yeah.
for
6
I go to
and
10.
7, and you do the...
I go to 10 because people don't have to walk
Or I
past
go to
me.
10 because
Swirl
nobody can get
balloon.
on the right of me. Yeah.
And it's like you go to the last stall if it's open, so you're not people aren't
Exactly.
filtering past you,
that
looking
way
to get
so no
shot
one
in the
can
mouth.
attack me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The stall's the pro
glory
move, though.
hole.
Do you need to tell us something?
No, I
Did
just
you have a bad experience
I saw
in the
this.
drive, or-
I saw this as a quiz online the other day, which was it like had a picture of like urinals and then dudes standing in a urinal. It was like pick the correct urinal.
Or just go to
I
a
stand
fucking
next-
urinal and piss. Who
I
cares?
stand next to at least one dude.
And he pisses
wherever
pants
it
on the
is,
ground too.
And then I immediately look him dead in the eyes and say,
You just look
nice watch.
Nice watch is the move right there.
It is the
nice
move.
watch.
It's killer
Well.
watch, bro.
I like your wedding band. I like
Oh, that's a good one.
Is that a groove ring?
Excuse me. Oh,
Well, I think for the first time in 6 months, we're all in one room.
hey, there's our
recording
guest
a
tonight.
There's that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're here.
Yeah, we
and we're all
invited-
recording. I'm on a podcast for the first time. I don't know. This is my first podcast in a couple months, probably.
welcome back.
Welcome
Get
back.
a little tighter to that mic.
He forgot how to podcast, dude.
What do I do with my hands? I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Now I'm uncomfortable.
Car
You
ran
good?
good.
You're doing good. You're doing. You just hold them
doing
right
great.
there.
I'm hunching.
See, I just sound check mine so I can lean against it,
Yeah,
because then I
just
know exactly where
close.
I'm gonna be.
You mean like barely put it in just the tip in your mouth?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
You just
That's
gotta...
cool. I'm not judging. Just do what you want to do.
I always like how we have this conversation right before, just like, all right, everybody rein it in, and then it's just
That's
like
not even that bad.
We
not
talked
even that
about
bad.
glory holes, and Abe was talking about standing next to some dude.
When did we
saying he
talk
had a
about
nice
glory
watch.
holes?
Before we started recording, good job, guys.
oh wow,
When
wonderful.
did I miss that conversation?
Hey man, we
got
are
a lot-
what we are.
I got a lot of input here. Oh,
Abe,
man.
what brings you up here to the North Zone?
Well,
Well,
Since you're a
first
South
off, hold
Zoner.
on a second.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you have to say, Jared?
I got a lot to say.
All right, well, go on. We
I
got
got a lot to
time.
talk
Will we
about,
listen
okay?
to Abe?
What's the deal with this weather? Okay.
What is the deal with this weather?
What's the deal with smart
Would you
cars?
look at that?
what's the deal with
How
smart?
smart are they, huh?
Well done, sir.
Yes.
All right, continue, Abe.
So, South Zoner, what brings you up here?
Well, we
Hey, what did bring you up here?
well.
Just for backstory,
You're like the person
my
who's,
dog is
you're like,
downstairs.
you know that
whining
episode
her
of The
ass
Office
off.
where fucking Idris Elba's on there and he's like, I just want to, he's being introduced and he's like, oh, hello everybody, and one of them is like, hi, and he's like, hi, and then Kelly's
It's
like,
not that one.
hi.
I think it's David Wallace. Wallace comes. I was gonna say Walrus because that's what Michael Walrus.
Walrus.
He shows up to the office and he says hi, and then like Kevin says hi, and
Hi.
then Kelly says hi.
Hi.
But he also does it whenever Charles Minor. That's his
Charles
name.
Minor.
in the
Yeah,
show.
that's his name.
Yes, I'm effectively that I have on women.
Yes, I'm aware of the effect I have on women. Oh god.
Oh God.
So you're here. You're up in North Texas again.
So everybody's heard on the podcast, maybe an episode or so ago, that we had the dog incident at one of the places we like to hunt, which sparked my wife and I to go down this journey of adopting a dog. And so we were up in Dallas to look at a couple puppies to adopt. So there's a
And to add to his story, this isn't like, oh, he's going to go to like a breeder and they're looking at puppies. This
Nope.
was actually
Which there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that, but they are doing something I think is
Yeah.
cool. They're rescuing
It is.
the dog that was rescued happened to be pregnant, so she's
Correct.
given birth to a litter.
She's a
which are
yellow lab. It's through Texas Sporting Breed, so they're kind of do the retriever thing. So, she's got 11 puppies, and so we're going tomorrow to look at which one we're going to get.
2 of them.
Okay, 2 or 3?
No, like
2.
None?
like Tracy hasn't literally raised a puppy since she was like in high school.
Buckle up.
Dude, Charlie.
everything's gonna get chewed. It's a
Oh,
lab.
I know. Like
Like you're gonna have to dog proof like I
Well,
do with Nelly.
I'll say that we got lucky with Charlie. She wasn't. I mean, she was only maybe like 6. No, shit. I don't know. She was still puppy when she was tiny as shit. But we got lucky with her because she wasn't really much of a chewer. It's her brother now. He's a fucking asshole.
Winston.
Yeah, Winston's fucking terrible. I love him to death.
Oh, Winston.
But I'm gonna shake him so hard.
So I
Okay,
raised
that's
Boyd from a
aggressive.
puppy, and obviously he was a German Shepherd Beagle, so we didn't deal with a lot of chewing at all. But I just know it's gonna be
Yeah.
like 3-4 months of just hell.
2 years, homie.
Well,
2
I
to
think
3
the,
years.
the
Have you
hard
not seen what
part
I'm
is
going
like the
through
first
still
couple
right
months.
now?
Have you not
yeah.
seen Nelly?
Yeah, but
Nellie's mild though compared to what I've got.
Exactly.
I got
Nelly
2
is
of them.
mild compared to a lot of dogs, and she's 2
Yeah.
and change.
That's why I'm
Or is she
like-
3? I don't remember. I think she's 3.
I think it's
It
No.
was a year when you got her, and you've probably had her for close to 2 years now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Because we got her in 2020 because we had to wear masks.
she
to
was
the
a
breeder.
COVID baby.
Yeah.
So we're up here looking for a dog, and
That's real cool. And so you need to get a brown one and a yellow one, and that's cool.
I mean,
Yeah, you should get one each. That's the pro move.
keep them together.
Yeah.
So
And then you're here, and here's why it's a pro move. No one take offense to this who's listening. Women ruin dogs.
no, I know.
So then you have one that can be a house dog, like Nelly, and
I've
be a
had-
savage, and listen to be trained a little bit, and then you can have
It does
Maximus.
not work that way because you get
you tried that, I guess.
you get one dog to
And then
try
the
to
other
keep
one.
like a house dog, and then you get your sporting breed, and they both become house dogs.
House dogs.
I don't know.
yeah.
See, I didn't get a hunting dog. We just got Charlie because we wanted a dog.
Yeah,
And
which is great.
She's a terror. And then randomly, I was like, she needs a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got Winston. And I don't know. We talk about it all the time. Charlie could be. I mean, she's just spastic.
She still can be. Ship her off.
Well, I mean, I'm about to get the cornerstone, and so
Yeah, I'm waiting on that.
we'll all
TikTok
have
motherfucker.
access to that. I know I'm
Cornerstone.
going to
Is
get
that
it.
like the foreign language thing when you learn how to speak Spanish or something?
Kind of.
Is that
For
what
dog.
it's-
It teaches you to
That-
speak dog.
Yeah.
You're going to
it's-
teach
That's
your
the rose
dog
stone.
Spanish?
Yeah.
You're going to train your dog in Spanish?
Yeah.
Aquí,
Rose
pero-
gold.
So-
What's it called? Rose gold.
Rosetta
Alto!
Stone.
Rosetta Stone.
Yeah.
Oh, Rosetta
Babel
Stone. That's
is
it.
another one. Rosetta Stone.
That
Babel.
sounds not good.
Babel's
Babel?
the app, though, right?
Babel's an app that just teaches you like little words every day. You know,
I use Duolingo.
you do.
Yeah, for Spanish.
How much Spanish can you speak right now?
Not a lick.
I
You
just
could
turn my
say
movies on Spanish subtitles.
Hola, esta es mi amigo Jordan. Este es muy guapo.
Yes.
Como se dice el baño?
Yeah.
El guapo.
El baño? El baño.
El baño.
Sí.
Do you just know how to ask how to say the bathroom, but you're saying bathroom in Spanish?
How do I say the bathroom in bathroom? In bathroom.
How do you say
At
the bathroom in bathroom? You just go in there and you say it.
You say it.
Go to the damn bathroom.
You go in the bathroom and say bathroom.
Oh, man.
You're welcome.
So
Anyways. But that's cool, man. I'm excited for you guys.
I'm excited. We'll see.
We got excited for our dogs, and I guess to segue, last weekend, Christmas weekend was interesting for us. This is just was this a day or two before New Year's? I don't know quite when
Yeah.
this episode will be out, but the dog chewed up the goddamn TV remote, and I found it in the backyard. Steph is sick, and so I couldn't find the damn batteries.
Nelly chewed ours too, but not totaled.
I couldn't find the batteries, and then any
It's automatically
parent
inside
does.
the dog.
you Google and it's like, this will kill your dog. It's like, oh shit. So I dump hydrogen peroxide down Winston's mouth, and he vomits everywhere, like all of his morning breakfast, which was eaten before the remote. And there was a paper plate in there, and I'm like, oh, you snuck that one past me because I don't know where he got the fucking paper plate from.
Yes.
But no battery. And then Charlie, dude, like I've got a bruise on the inside of my thigh from her fighting me. Like I got maybe a fourth of a cup
You
down
want
her.
you want another pro move? You soak a piece of bread in it.
Oh, I just put her harness on her and sat on top of her.
I know.
and
I
she
get
still
it.
got
I've
out.
done it with this one. But yeah, just
try that one, bread.
soak a piece of bread because they'll eat it as a dog. They're gonna just chow it
there.
down. Like, oh
But-
my gosh, you're giving me this?
This is mine.
This is
also-
mine?
Yeah.
I tried to look for the batteries
for
and
Nell-
haven't done the yard work.
For Nelly, do you put it on a whole loaf of bread, plastic at
No,
all.
that's usually the issue.
That's trying to get the remaining remnants of a plastic
an
bag
Easter
out
egg
of her.
if
A
you will.
relevant
That's a throwback.
story that doesn't have a story because Nellie's a garbage disposal. She ate 2 blocks of cream cheese, foil and all, and a whole banana peel and stem and all in the hour I was at Jordan's dropping a cheesecake. And my parents were here
I
in the
didn't hear
living
this one.
room.
This was
She
just
just went,
recent then.
I'm done. I'm taking this outside.
This
And I
is
looked at the
fine.
camera, one at a time, out the dog door, back in. Round 2, back in, round 3. And she was a little fat, and I was like, all right. She's fine, obviously.
What a demon.
Now you continue. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, we both have our dogs are assholes. We love them.
You
but
thought
they're
they'd eaten
assholes.
batteries.
Yeah, no, I mean, Charlie, I wasn't able to get any, so I had to take the dogs to the ER. They x-rayed. I would assume they'd know what it would look like on an x-ray, but they x-rayed a battery.
look like a
just so they
battery.
had a point of reference, and it looks like a damn AAA battery. Like, I don't know what you're trying to prove.
Straightforward.
And so
They teach you this shit at Texas A&M.
that is an Aggie move.
That is
100%.
an absolutely Aggie move.
It's a battery.
We need to X-ray this battery, which will be $300, for us to be able to understand what the battery
shit,
looks
that's
like.
probably what was so expensive.
Probably. They charge you for battery x-ray. You should have said, I want that x-ray, and you can just take it with you every time. This is what a battery
hold on
looks
now,
like.
hold on.
Like, sir, you're
Yeah.
here for vaccinations.
Short story on that one. I spent 3 hours there. X-rays come back. Nothing in either of them. As I'm leaving and I'm paying and everything, the lady gives me 2 DVDs. And I'm like, what are these? She's like, these are your X-rays. I'm like, oh, thank you. Souvenirs. I'll use them on my computer that has a fucking DVD drive.
A DVD.
Like, who has that anymore?
I mean,
I have actually my MacBook that I use for our graphic stuff. I have a disk drive on that.
I thought you had a Mac Mini.
he is both.
I gotta. Yes, we talked about this. I gotta take the MacBook into the store to have them transfer Photoshop to the new computer, so
okay.
I can trash this MacBook.
Gotcha.
It's a pain in the ass.
Dude,
Anyway,
can we shoot it at Hogorama?
I've already got a microwave and a printer out
if
here.
I get it done by then, sure.
I watched a dude blow up 9 pounds of tannerite with gasoline. It was one hell of a fire. It was
Well,
pretty cool.
I don't know if we can do flames.
If it's been raining,
All right.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge!
Oh my God! Our boxing match at Hagorama. We should wear boxing gloves and light them on fire.
Oh my god.
No.
in the telephone booth.
That was
This is our other
my
guest.
wife and
My
Abe's wife
wife
are
doesn't
downstairs.
understand how a podcast works. Then she
Oh God. Anyways, yeah, that's having the dogs recently. It's great. But whatever. They're healthy. They're fine.
yeah.
They're demons.
I'm gonna say, like, if I completely understand your concern, and I probably would have done the same. But also, I would have thought a lot about it if they threw up breakfast food and no battery.
That's where I was. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, he doesn't fucking have it in him. I know he doesn't. So, yeah. Whatever.
But if you
I've-
make
that's
that
fine.
call
But if you were wrong,
and you're wrong,
But so I did the fucking
Oh,
yard
like
work.
I said, maybe. I
only
would've said-
found one battery. After I've done all the
Just-
yard work, I only recovered one. Now I've got we talked about it. I got like 24 bags of leaves. I feel like chances are that
It's
other
somewhere
batteries
in
in one of
there.
those fucking bags.
Or it's just out laying out in the yard.
yeah, just mushed into the ground.
But if they didn't eat it first round, I don't feel like they're going to eat it second round. They got plenty of other shit to eat.
Yeah.
Bastards.
How's your dog, Jordani?
River, amazing.
Good.
Yeah, she hasn't eaten anything.
That's good.
The only thing she does is when we're not paying attention to her and Braylee leaves her door open, she'll go in Braylee's room and get a stuffed animal and gently carry it out to the living room and sit in the middle of the living room and look at us. Like she just Holden carries a stuffed animal.
Yeah.
And then when you walk up to her, you just grab it and tell her to release, and she lets go of it.
But with real birds, she's not that soft mouth, right?
No, she's that soft mouse with real birds.
Because didn't the first time you take her?
The very first
She was-
time, she was
yeah,
excited. I
sure.
mean, it wasn't even like, it wasn't hard mouth. She was just
like, oh my gosh, what is
yeah,
this?
like she was out in the field looking for him, and all of a sudden, there was one dead on the ground. She's like, "I got it!" And she's like, "Check it out, check it out, check it out!" Like she was, and she's like trying to shove it into my waist. Like she's like, "Look!"
Oh, those GWPs. Pause. But those GWPs on the pheasant hunt were real hard mouthed.
Yeah.
I mean, they really only wanted to take it to their owner, which is very understandable. But even then, he was like, drop it, and was having to pry it out.
Yeah.
And one of them brought me a couple birds and released them just fine, which was surprising. But
So-
they were
So,
interesting dogs.
People, I guess we'll rewind.
Yeah,
a second.
I don't think we talked about that.
So, I don't know. Was that 2-3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. My wife's uncle has done this pheasant hunt, kind of an annual thing up in the Panhandle with this guide that then became friends, and it just grew into kind of an annual thing with family and some friends, and then Uncle Craig, he would bring a couple of clients as well from work. So I finally got the invite to go on this hunt.
Oh, is this your first time?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you went last year.
No, hell no. Craig's had mentioned it since we started dating, and then finally, I think because now we're married, I finally got the official invite.
Exactly.
You made an honest woman out of her. You can come up here now.
Yeah. But yeah, we went up there. I mean, it was a decent drive. We took a Friday off. It was cold as shit when we got up there, but yeah, there was, I don't know how many, there was 14
14, 15,
14 or 15 of us. It was, some extended family, everyone's an uncle or a cousin pretty much, a couple friends of the family, and we went on a pheasant hunt. It was my first pheasant hunt, and it was
super fun. I loved it.
It's interesting, man. We were talking about it afterwards. Like, I'm used to duck hunting and deer hunting and pig hunting where, cool, maybe a short walk. Let's sit down. Let's sit here now for a couple hours. As opposed to like, hey, cool, you ready to walk? Cool, walk. So just walking, not like just walking flat ground, like you're walking through shit and busting through brush and yeah, man.
Got to find them birds, son.
That was fun though. Yeah, it was super fun.
It was technically my second pheasant hunt. I'd went a handful of years ago with a buddy up to Kansas, and they'd said it was a real bad season, but all weekend we saw 2 birds, and I never took a shot even. So I consider it kind of technically a pheasant hunt, but not really. So this is first.
How many duck hunts have you gone on and not shot birds or even seen birds?
Very fair.
All of last season.
I'm just saying, yeah.
Yeah, I just quit doing that.
Yeah, that was.
I haven't. Knock on wood. Haven't been skunked this year.
It's been a good year.
I as well.
I'll say this.
Have not been on a hunt that's not no skunked for me.
Our hunts have been good, and the ones, even just a solo one, I at least saw birds. Like the spot I was in was just not great. It was the Louisville spot, and it was just I didn't have enough time to smash the whole hole,
right?
The entire hole open because it was just iced over.
Yeah, you were iced over where you're at.
Complete hole.
Yeah.
The party hole.
But it was still fun.
Yes.
It was still fun to get out there and kind of smash some ice. It's like, we kind of did that at the other spot. Was that 2 seasons ago?
I did, for sure.
But this was fun to like get in.
We'll get to that.
Kind of thigh deep and like smash a hole and and just sit. And it's like, oh wow, like we don't get that in Texas often. I don't feel like, at least my seasons. But anyways, yeah, pheasant hunt. First pheasant hunt.
It was great.
A lot of fields and
upland hunting is super fun.
I loved it more than I thought I would because of my ADD, like you.
Oh yeah,
because I get real fidgety in a duck blind. If everybody hasn't talked about that,
so I think we talked about it. I took my boss one time and went to where he lives. He lives in the Panhandle, and went over to some public land. We went on a quail hunt with River, and we didn't find any birds. Where we're at, we kind of knew there not a great quail place. There's some in the area, but not pretty vast. And we knew we probably would come up empty-handed. And he kind of half-heartedly was like, "Yeah, cool. I don't mind going hunting. Maybe we'll find something." And after we're done, he was like, "Walking behind a dog, I would never find it to be so cool. But watching a dog work, I can only imagine how much like." If she found something, that's the only thing that would have been cooler. But like, it's so cool just to watch them do their thing. Like,
no doubt. Well, that was one of the big things. That's I guess as we said, we'll rewind. The guides. There was 2 guides, and they both had wire hairs, and it was really fucking cool to watch these dogs work. And then when they'd point, it was funny to hear. Like, I've not even been on an upland hunt before.
Were they running bells?
No.
I've
never been on an upland hunt before, but I just know what it looks like when a dog's pointing.
Right.
And so it was funny to see people yelling out, "Oh, the dog's pointing," when the dogs just stop to sniff something, and tail's still wagging. It's like, no,
if
the dog's
there's any
not
movement, that ain't a point.
Like, you can tell when a dog's locked up and pointing on something, and the dogs did a couple times. There was one field.
The first pheasant of the day. But right before I shot the second one, the dog got him point hard. The guy crept up to is to my right, remember?
That was the field with...
The first bird.
But the guys were loading up the cotton, right?
Yes. And so he gets right up, he creeps up
yeah.
on the dog at point, and the bird doesn't flush. The bird's literally between the guy's legs, and the dog finally just snatches it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like,
kid,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
There was at one point where...
that seems like a wire hair move from what I understand. I've never owned one, but like everyone that talks about wire hairs are like...
I mean,
they're pretty.
To be fair, he did his job until there was not much else to do.
The
like
other
he
guy,
waited.
Like, how else am I?
Yeah,
how close to?
I think the bird might have finally twitched or something. And boom, and then fine after that.
Moonshine Craig was this guy's name, or one of the guys.
Moonshine Craig.
Moonshine Craig. Great dude.
Best
cool
nickname.
Guy.
I'm kind of jealous of that one.
His dog though.
He made delicious moonshine, and I don't like moonshine.
He was looking at his GPS for the dog, and the dog was behind him, so he recalled him. And didn't realize the dog was pointing on a bird behind us. We had passed a bird, and so that was.
I was back there with him.
Yeah, trying to get that bird, and that was a good field. That was a good way to kind of start the day. It's like, all right, cool, and this is also. I mean, what was the temperatures? 6 degrees, and it was blowing what?
Barely that first day.
Yeah. It was a little windy, but it was cold. It was cold as shit, man. I had
I mean,
layers on.
I layered up, but I was walking. I was 100% fine. I got hot when I
After
started
a
running
while,
around.
yeah.
Like
Oh,
an
yeah.
idiot.
Start moving around and
That is the worst part about hunting like that is it's cold. You bundle up, you think you're good, and then you start walking. You're like, fuck,
get this
I'm
shit
hot.
off me.
I wore 2 base layers under my brush pants, but I wore my zip off. So at lunch, I just pulled 1 base layer. But Jared, we interrupted you.
No, I mean it was cold. We were talking. I mean, I just. Oh my god! All right, guys.
Here, that's why this is.
We have a guest here,
Yeah.
and he's just spilled the beer in the whiskey room. Now you have to chug that beer real quick.
Stomp on it.
I'm moving the microphone so I
I
can.
thought you were gonna like Big Daddy this and lay newspaper on top of it.
Oh
and
my
leave it.
god! I need to buy you a newspaper to leave up here for that next time.
Oh my gosh!
See, nothing's wrong.
I thought he was just gonna throw the towel and be like, "All right, boys, what were we saying?"
That's why I told. I said it to Abe earlier. I'm like, why the fuck can't I just smoke up here? This is the whiskey room. Damn it.
No.
You don't. You live downstairs.
Why don't we just build a little tube for him?
No,
Give me like a fishbowl helmet so I can just smoke it in the
That's a
fishbowl.
Dale Gribble move right there. If there's any Dale Gribble move. Oh no, here's the actual move. The window right here, we put a window just to put a fan in it, so it creates back
Suction,
pressure,
yeah.
suction, and then we hook that to the fishbowl, or just a box you sail into, and you hold your cigarette by it, so there's always a little bit
Listen,
of back pressure. But
I'm
it's still
game
not
if you
happening.
are.
It's still not happening.
Why are you scared, dude? Come on, let's
Because
try
I don't
it.
want this to smell like cigarette smoke.
Just
Cigarettes.
light a candle.
Cigarette.
I don't know.
Light a candle.
I'll get you some Nag Champa, some incense.
I don't know what that word means.
You will soon.
You
I gotta
do.
get you your Bob Marley blanket to put on the wall.
Yeah,
and your
we're gonna get you
Sublime
some-
Yeah, I was
blanket.
about to say, you don't practice Santeria.
Oh god.
Your fucking velvet posters.
I love that one because I feel like that's become a running gag on the podcast.
Oh, absolutely.
And everyone's just like thinking that we're fucking idiots because we just keep singing Sublime.
No one said otherwise.
Yeah, I don't think anyone
I think
chimed into this one.
there's someone out there who thinks one of us is mildly intelligent.
No.
Which one do you think that someone thinks is
Which one of our 10 listeners?
I'll be honest with you, I can't really even name any of our listeners.
Yes, you can.
Ooh.
No, I
Jesse.
meant the other way. Which one of
Scotty.
us in this group
Joel.
do you
Cam.
think someone
Andrew.
might think is
He doesn't
intelligent?
know them.
Okay.
Intelligente?
Know who? All of Abe's new
The Houston
friends?
crew. Here's what's funny.
Donde
He
estás?
met them because I took him on a
Intelligente.
hunt with me and Joel. Because Joel invited me and Abe got to jump in the truck.
So how does it feel now to know that they like him more than you?
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
Glenn definitely likes me more.
Glenn likes me because I have a boat.
And I have a boat.
And now that I don't have a boat, he's like, move along.
weakling. I've got my
outta
burner
here.
gun.
Get out
Yeah.
of here, peasant.
Get out of here, peasant. It's amazing how that walk-in crew went from walking in miles to I have a boat.
Hey
now
guys,
they're
you
like,
want to take the boat?
They're like, can we get like a canoe so we don't have to walk as much?
Hey, man, work smart, not hard.
Oh my God.
I'm all for it. That's why we were talking about next weekend. And we come down, you're like, we can walk in. And I'm thinking,
Dude,
I was talking to him.
It's part of it.
That's the hardest walk I think I've
So?
ever done. And I'm like,
Which
I don't need to kill birds that bad.
Really? It's worth it.
You should do this one
It's
time.
100% worth it. Trust me.
What you need to
You'll
do.
never shoot like for a public
Should I
land
just bring
hunt.
my kayak
you'll-
down?
No.
No.
Well-
you need to make the walk one time. It's
Well,
a rite of
It's not
passage.
kayakable.
Yeah, and it's
Then
that
how
too.
do you canoe in?
You
do that
take
from
a
a different
boat
spot.
with a canoe on the boat to a place.
You strap
then
it like
you
a P-row.
canoe
and
out
go
to the
out
place. Otherwise, you just have to walk through. the
It's. I
marsh.
feel like it's a rite of passage.
you should. Yeah.
It's a rite of passage. Everyone should go hunt this spot.
No.
Okay,
to
so it's
hunt-
not a rite of passage.
well,
He's
it's
just
a rite of
arguing-
passage for people who
Jared's
know about
scared
it.
of working hard to shoot ducks. That's what he's saying, right?
For this occasion, probably.
I mean,
No.
that's exactly
Why?
what you're saying.
For this occasion, yeah.
Why?
No.
Why this occasion?
Because he's putting his foot down.
Because
he
this will
wants-
be the best public land duck shooting you've ever done.
Okay.
It's worth it.
Okay.
All right.
So why don't you guys do it when you go down?
We might. We're gonna walk part of it.
Because you won't have the canoe.
No, we could make 3 trips with the canoe because it's a long ways from the boat drop.
Oh.
But we're
and
gonna
you can't
do
get
it
there until 4 a.m. So
Why are you taking the boat at all? Why don't you just walk in like he said that we
because
should?
it's further.
He's already done the
and
rite of
he's already
passage.
walked in.
He's already sucked once. All right.
in neoprene waders.
I'm sorry?
Oh,
What did you do? Tell me about what you did at neoprene waders.
that walk, man. I mean, you hit the blacktop and immediately just shucking waders and sitting down. It's so bad.
Mainly because it very well could be 70 degrees outside,
And you're
and you're
shin deep mud and thigh deep water, knee to thigh for a mile plus. And there's nothing you can do to make it any better. You just keep walking.
Get ladder decoys?
We didn't even
don't
carry
even-
decoys
Why not?
because they had
they
them.
had a sled,
And they were- we
and
took
somebody
turns-
else pulled the sled.
we pulled the sled
Yeah.
some, but decoys get stashed sometimes. The walk alone.
which
I mean,
is
with
nice.
just a shotgun and a backpack.
It's a fabulous hunt, though.
I
It's
do
worth
like
every
how
step.
It's worth
we
it.
I would walk
completely
it.
rabbit trailed from talking about a pheasant hunt.
It's still hunting 30s. I mean, if you were saying,
a
why don't we
storm
do it
drain.
this weekend? If it works out that it's closer to walk than boat in than walk, we're walking.
Yeah.
Like we're going boat or not. It's awesome. Your dog wants up here real
I mean,
bad.
I've slept at the boat ramp now twice at this place.
One of the
And
boys is going out tomorrow at like 2 p.m.
Yeah. Like opening day, we go out there, and they like I didn't go because I was up here for the second split, I think. Yeah, second split. No, I forget when it was. They went out there. I wasn't there, and they were. I mean, they.
Time out real quick. Is that even proper terminology saying the second split?
Yes.
Why would you
I
think
don't
that
know why
that's?
that sounds weird.
There's no proper
Yeah,
because technically spoken words just to
There's
communicate
just
ideas.
the one split. though.
The second half of the split.
But because of the second split. But we're not going down this rabbit hole. I'm stopping. I'm putting a roadblock up.
Come on.
I
So
need to contact a professor of English studies.
do
it's
it.
not an English thing. It's It's
It's a
not
cultural
the
thing.
It's not
It's
the proper
cultural.
English way to say it. But people go,
It's
"Oh, it's
cultural.
the second split."
Saying the word cool. I mean, that's not proper anything.
That's
it's
just
cultural.
That's just slang.
Exactly, and this is slang.
This is
I
slang.
don't know if it's slang.
Okay, don't feed the trolls.
You're right.
You were saying about
They go out. I mean, they make a thing of it.
It's a
when
all-day
I was
thing.
like, "Hey, we're coming out Friday," he was like, "Oh, cool. I'll bring the fire pit and the stove, and we'll cook." And I was like, "We won't be there till late, but it's
worth it.
It's
Trust me.
I mean, to shoot a 3-man in 45 minutes.
If that.
It
Is
was
there
7:40 something till 7. Like we were at 7:10. Like recount. How many? Recount. How many you got? I got 9 over here. You got 8 over there. Okay.
They're shooting a lot of birds each.
Well, I mean, we didn't shoot that many apiece. We had 2 of us were sitting right next to each other, and one of us was sitting
Are
on
you
the
making
other
a
side. So
confession right now?
No, but I'm proving a point is that
technically,
it
you're not
happens.
supposed to
This
do it.
happens all the time in duck blinds, and everybody knows it whether they admit it or not. piling your birds together in a pile is highly ticketable.
It's
yeah.
If you've got more than 6 next to you and you say, oh, that was his bird. Well, why didn't he have his bird? People get tickets for that all the time. So if you're with a group, keep your birds split up.
That's good looking out. I mean, that's a good point.
It is good.
For sure.
So that's why I was
You're
letting
100%
you say that.
right.
I
Yeah.
know what you were saying,
Yeah.
and y'all would never shoot more than the limit.
No,
if you even finished a limit.
We
But-
missed 2 groups coming in because we were like, how many?
Exactly. So
and
That's why I was worried when the guys from the Army Corps came up and he saw the 2 scopes. Like
Scopes,
you're only allowed one apiece, and we had them. I mean, they were separated, but they were
In a pile.
thrown like next to each other in a pile in the back of the truck.
and they're not game wardens.
Yeah.
Those guys
but,
were
like,
just
I mean,
wanting us to show them permits. They didn't give a shit. They were like,
I
mean, he
one of
wanted
y'all
They
to
was
asked
trying-
to see the birds.
Yeah, they asked to see
Twice.
the birds.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh yeah.
twice.
And he was
Because
very
I was
adamant.
looking for my permit,
like-
and he's like, "Can we see the birds?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." And he's like, "Can we see the birds?" Like, absolutely.
He was
yeah,
very.
just calm down.
I just
We're
remember
getting-
one of
like,
you guys
what-
tried to show him
yes.
your hunting license, and he's like, "I don't give a shit." Pretty much said, "I don't give a shit
Yeah.
about that."
They said, "I don't give a shit about your hunting license. Let's see the permits."
Yeah.
And I had to find mine in my email.
Oh.
Why don't you just? I mean,
I had a screenshot saved.
just print it out and put it in a plastic sandwich baggie. Throw it in your blind bag.
That's what I do. I keep all
look
my
at you
paperwork
fancy
for-
guys with plastic bags
Yeah,
and printers.
God,
I actually-
this fucking technology is brand new. I've never heard of a sandwich bag before.
I've
It's
one
got
of
the
little-
double seal on it, man.
I have one of the phone boxes that I keep my phone in, like where I used to, but it stays in my blind bag, and I have all my paperwork in that too.
I've got one on my boat that does that.
Yeah,
But
I just throw them in there.
Yeah.
Bam.
my duck stamp survived
I'm
the
always-
Exxon Valdez incident.
I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the duck stamp with all this electronic licensing shit.
People still
the
collect them.
culture behind the duck stamp, it's got to stay, man.
People like
People
to do the
collect
art
them.
And
Well, I know, but like, I'm fine with getting the physical stamp, but can you not just say like, "Hey, the thing that like expires in what?"
You get a 14 or 21 day or
Yeah,
something.
like that. Can't you just keep that as
Yeah,
like the
that's
proof
fair.
that you
That's
have that, and I get the stamp?
That's fair.
Like the book is fucking obsolete.
I like the book.
I like getting the book too, but there's no fucking reason.
You're talking
How
about
much
the
money
public
could the
hunting
state of
lands book?
Texas sell?
I mean, I think last season, you were digging through it and found some interesting. Like,
I
oh, we've
carry it
never
in my
been
you
here
could go
backpack
through-
all the time just because I'm weird and like, oh, I'll just look at maps of stuff.
Is
And
weird
I-
the adjective we want to use?
You can use whatever you want, buddy.
Anyways, that is a fair point because that is a nice thing. I like getting the book and I like having it.
Agreed.
Just like getting the public land book. Like I hate looking up the public land book.
It's a
online.
nightmare online because they're fucking all different ways, and you
Yeah.
gotta rotate. And you're like,
I
God
like
damn
to
it, I
look
went
at the
too far.
pictures.
I like to look at the pictures too. It's some pretty
Absolutely.
pictures and the words are simple to read.
Well, reading is hard.
It is
Yeah.
difficult
Maybe for you.
sometimes.
For you.
For you.
For you.
So yeah. Anyways,
So we did pheasant hunt.
we went
That was
pheasant
neat.
hunt. It was cool. We're gonna go back again next
I
year.
made delicious pheasant enchiladas.
Enchiladas?
I confit the pheasant legs.
Oh, and you brought some. Those guys threw out some
Chuckers,
chuckers, and then you shot some of those, or a couple, and we brought a few back home.
Um,
Their fucking pond out there. Holy shit!
Covered in ducks.
Down the street
Dude.
from the house.
Yeah.
Now they
like
were saying it
crane
was
hunt
like
kind of ducks where it's like, oh, that's birds, not like stubble.
it was
Yeah,
like they said it's like a septic, like a plumbing.
It's
city
a
septic
holding
thing.
tank. It's like last stage of sewage
Yeah.
holding, kind of like the one off Louisville that they shut the area down by.
Yeah.
because that's why the birds would hang out because it's warm water.
Dude.
Continue.
Piled geese and ducks all over the place, and because originally I was like, hey, he told him to pull out his Onyx and let's see what's going on.
What?
Sounds like a war zone going on downstairs.
Yeah, my dogs
Just
are
the
here.
dogs fighting,
okay.
man.
It's just like it's.
They're Michael Vick.
Just
down
imagine
there.
this is. It's just like doing a live when
Good
we do the
reference.
recordings at Hogorama. There's just some shit going
There's just
on
stuff going
in the
on, yeah.
background. Whatever.
It makes it real, man.
We were sitting in the blind in greens and had 100 sandhills like in the area. Like we started to be like, oh my god, I hear him. Where are they at? Oh my god, there they are. And they were like, they kind of came in and they circled over one area and they started circling. We're like, and then they kind of came towards us. We're like, is this going to happen? Are we going to shoot some sandhills right here? There's a bunch down there. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously a bunch of geese.
That's what we were excited about when we were up in the Panhandle for the High Plains Mallard opener. one of the guys we're talking to about the area, he was like, we've been seeing a lot of sandhill crane around here. We're like, we looked it up, and it was like the season for them started too. And we're like,
Was it like the weekend or like that next week or something?
It's like the week before or 2 weeks before North Zone opener. It's like a bonus 2 days of hunting. And I was up there for work, so they joined, and the hunting was tough. We've talked about the story and the fog and all that, I think, already. But
that fog was still
videos
crazy.
coming soon. Don't
But,
worry. And I think you get to see a little bit of this fog. I don't know.
I like to go. I like going to Meredith to hunt.
It is. It's nice.
And, it was super fun. Met a local who said he'll show us the spots. So next time, his boat wouldn't run. I kind of helped him pick up his decoys and get his dogs in the boat. And that motor cranked over, and I followed him for a minute, and he was good. It's an old two-stroke, and he's just being fidgety.
We're actually talking about that this weekend. Week. It's not the weekend yet, but about two-strokes being fidgety little things.
Mine hates the cold weather
because it's tuned.
I know. It just is like it's like probably about a 7 to 10 minute process to get going.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't like to go, and I can get it going, and I can get it.
How about now?
Right now? Are we talking about your motor, or what are we talking about?
So, why don't you you pull the choke and run it,
and I pull the choke and it runs, and then when I start to push it in,
you leave your choke running until your motor starts to run wrong.
Yeah,
that means it's hot, and then you stop your choke.
Yeah,
a choke's not just for starting.
You just pull it out and start it, and then push it right back in.
Well, I push it back
he's
in
thinking
half.
it's like a tiny two-stroke chainsaw weed eater, which
You can do that. You can do that with a lawnmower, sure.
That's
the lawnmower
but that's
motor,
his
that's
reference.
Yeah,
so
it's fair.
And I don't just push it all the way back in.
I'm used to motorcycles, and so even motorcycle, pull that choke out.
It's a bigger motor.
Got to give it some time.
Those tiny motors are hot after three rotations.
Yeah. I was just
I'd
pull it out and get it going and let it run for a minute, and then I'd push it halfway, and it would bog down.
Since you got the different carbs, your choke will stay out. Mine's still the manual one.
Yeah.
So when I start, I hold it, start boom and run fine. Then it kind of starts like just stuttering, and then you kill your choke, and it's like the motor's hot.
No, it's good.
What is the noise that it makes, Abe?
Vroom.
No.
Vroom.
No, the other. No. Is that like a child's machine gun right there?
It makes like a ka-tunk noise.
Yeah, ka-tunk.
Oh god.
Yeah. So,
that's how you should warm your boat up.
Yeah. So I blew the fucking motor up on my boat.
That was. I like how you just like breezed by that. Like you just like went right into it. I blew the motor up on my boat. Next question.
To be fair, I talked to you on the water while you were running back with the trolling motor and paddles or whatever. There's not a great story.
It's not. I wasn't even
pop.
doing anything. It just I had been in some mud and got out of that and was fine, and then got all the way back out across the bay. Was running across the bay wide open, and boom, and just sounded like half that motor was. So
it was half the motor was gone.
Yeah, half the motor was gone. So we'll see. Old Marcus over at Bayou Surface Drive is going to take a look at it, and
I'm going to call him eventually and just say, "I got a motor with 260 hours. Mm-hmm. Is it worth it, or is it?
This one had 100 and
yeah, that's half.
Yeah, it's true.
Like 100 hours is nothing on those motors.
And it sounds like not that many hours when you like say it. Like 200 hours doesn't sound that much.
But it's the way these motors run.
Yeah.
All or nothing, basically.
But you think of how much we've ran that thing.
The vibration.
You look back at it and you're like, man, we have ran that thing a lot. That's a lot of running. We've done a lot of hunts in your boat, Grinch.
I probably got somewhere how many hours it had on it when I bought it. I'd be interested because I was real bad about the move is when you change your oil, write your mileage, write your hours in your oil filter, because then you have a reference point to change it.
Yep.
But I haven't tracked it otherwise. We've definitely put 150 hours on it.
Date and hours. Write that on the oil filter.
Yeah,
two great references.
I put
in those motors, I more look at hours because I usually only change it twice a season, right before duck season, and then as soon as it's warm after. Mm-hmm. So if it gets ran in the summer for anything,
I'm interested to see what causes something to happen like that.
Tell him. There's lots of things.
There's lots of things like you could have. Sometimes you get like a hot spot.
What was your RPM?
30, like almost 4,000.
Oh, that's not bad at all. 4,000 on stock motors is starting to be like, let's not get much higher. So you were fine on that. But continue.
There's just so much factors. Like, you could have not been like your oil could have been slightly low. You don't have enough oil sloshed up because those things were a lot. Are those pumped? Those are sloshed, right?
Sloshed.
So, so you might not have been getting enough lubrication up into that cylinder, and you basically run a hot spot, for lack of a better way to explain it.
Boom.
And then, you fatigue the metal, and it goes. You get one little bad ignite. If you ever over fueled your engine, then you get cylinder wash down, you get blow by. There's just
It's like all kinds of things.
things just let loose. People used to hate it, but you're like, hey, sometimes shit lets
happens.
loose. Like,
And that's my biggest thing is like, I'm fine with that. If it's just, hey, shit breaks sometimes.
That's what this is.
And I'm cool with that. I just want to know, are there
Could you have
things
done-
that
could you have
have
done
done different? I've checked the oil.
If your oil's
I
fine,
maintain
there's
the
nothing
oil.
you could have done.
I'm maintaining the oil. I'm not adding oil constantly because
You should never be.
I'm checking the oil every 2 weeks. You know, and making sure like, okay, there's oil in there. There's oil in there. There's oil in there.
a good quality oil, especially for like
Rotella, like 5W30, I think is what I can't remember exactly what it is. Rotella. That's what he was running in it before.
I think it's
No?
I think it's Rotel.
no, Rich Rotella.
It's Rotella.
Yeah, it's Rotel. Yeah,
He's making a queso joke.
Yeah, I
goes
know.
into the
I was just
crock
gonna,
pot.
We're just gonna blow by it.
Now we are.
Now
but-
we're having to talk about it.
No, I was just. I'm
Rotel-
still kind of stuck on this pheasant hunt. We just
Rotella's
kinda breezed
old
by it
oil.
To talk about Abe's motor.
It's like
It's
recycled
technology-wise.
kind of.
Technology wise,
Not recycled.
I mean, like it when it was out, it was good oil. There are better oils out there.
Okay, well,
you
But
know?
we can advise you on this. That's
yeah. I mean,
it
and
doesn't
that's-
matter.
And
But
that's
just
the
And
thing is like,
I'm sure there's someone on our podcast right now that probably horribly disagrees with me because it's like people that like a Chevy over a Ford or a Ford over a
always their,
Chevy
like, thing.
you're always gonna have people like that think differently, but as far as technology goes, additives and all that stuff for something that's hopped up,
I mean,
and you like there's additives that help oil stick to the cylinder walls better once it gets splashed up there, so it has more staying power.
extra oily
like,
oil.
Yeah, extra oil,
extra oily.
slippery stuff.
yeah. I just like I said, I just wanted to make sure like if I did something wrong, like am I doing something to the motor that could have caused this? And I mean, there's probably a chance. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't really know what I would have been doing
Exactly.
that would have been causing that, because it's like, okay, I'm not just hammering it like in mud and shit like that.
Which those motors are meant to do that. though.
Yeah,
But
I'm trying
I feel
to
like I've ran mine hard a few times.
But like I was coming out and we were
I've been
going through a
with you
low
and
tide
I was
and
like, ugh.
I was in mud, and so I'm trying to like, okay, like I'm looking at the tack and I'm like, okay, I'm at like 32, just back off, like don't. I'm not moving any.
No,
it's
but
not,
since it's tuned, it may have a governor, it may not.
I
a
would
limiter.
I would say
Mine does at 41,
it hits.
so it'll bounce
it hits the. Bah, 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 bah.
yeah, but rev limiters too are not the saving grace.
It's better than nothing.
No, it's definitely better than. I'm not saying like you should.
That's all I
like,
mean by that.
I'm just saying that like you're still going to blow things up with a rev limiter.
Yeah.
And that's one of those questions that like, as much as I know about mechanics, I would say it's something to ask homeboy
Oh, I'm.
at the engine shop to be like, because he might be like, it's best practice. That's the key, best practice to do it this way.
Yeah.
It's not the end all be all, but like, it seems to make them last longer.
I'll tell you what. I'll give it to Hunter, the guy I bought it from, who is Santa Fe DU guy. I sent him a message just like, hey, I understand this is my problem, not yours, first and foremost, but I blew the motor on this thing. Is there a warranty? Is there any information that you can share with me? He was like, call me. And he talked to me. He's like, what happened? This should not have occurred. He's like, here's all the things I went through. Here's everything. Took a lot of time to talk to me about it. So, shout out to that guy for buying a boat on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, for sure.
That was like beyond, and the fact that he's just he's gone above and beyond for like, here are all the things. And he still communicates with me like, oh, hey, by the way, like, I don't know if you remember the Southeast Texas mud boater guys, but they're doing a run. You should go take the boat over there. Like, I've done it. It's fun, but, he was like, man, when I talked to him, he was like, there should be no reason that anything bad happened.
Should be
no reason.
But there was.
There was. It happened, so.
That's like Jordan said. Sometimes just things happen.
And I keep coming back to that of like, okay, you
didn't do anything.
It was promise. Something that occurred. And it's going to happen.
Especially if you were if you run sub 4,000, and that's nothing on a tune motor. And if you had oil, there's nothing else to do.
Yeah. What else?
There's literally nothing else.
I'm just not supposed to go full throttle with the thing, No. That doesn't make any sense, right?
No.
I was going full throttle on a flat, dead calm bay.
None of that matters. Because the props only spin so fast.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, you didn't do it. It just happened. It is what it is. My motor could do the same thing tomorrow.
It just sucks. It sucks because I was I was so excited to,
It'll get repaired.
I know. I just hate that it happened in duck season.
But that's when this stuff's going to happen because you're never going. Well, I say it. Most people that have a boat built for duck hunting, which for a mud motor, you're going to be running it hard during duck season.
Yeah.
Not even as severe, but we were going to duck hunt that Friday before we left to go on the pheasant hunt. Boat cranks over, everything's good that morning.
5 times.
We get out to the spot, we pull up to this dude to talk to him because he was going to hunt mouth of wolf, and we talked to him for a second, and then his fucking boat won't turn over.
I put that evil on him.
No,
because we had that conversation.
He didn't plug it in the night before. I don't think
we had a conversation. We had the conversation the day before, and he was like, "I have never had a problem with my boat battery."
All indicators that morning, though, because it cranked over, everything turned on, it
5
ran.
times,
and so everything pointed to, "Hey, we're good." But thankfully, that dude had a jump pack. Otherwise, we would have been in a.
And we both have those now.
And that battery's toast. It was an 2018 battery. And talking to you about this and Jordan about this, maybe you two, maybe it was on the thread, all of us, but a lot of people want to spend $300-400 on a nice battery, like the
Optima
battery.
Optimas. Yeah.
One guy in a thread
Duracell.
one time said,
Duracell.
These boats and motors have so much vibration on them.
Nothing matters.
Like,
I'm getting that film in the corner of my mouth because my mouth is so dry and I need to drink a beverage.
So
I have mashed potatoes in my mouth.
Mashed potatoes. That's so tasty.
So these boats and motors create so much vibration. Think of how way we run them. These batteries aren't just really built for that. They're going to vibrate a plate loose and the cell's going to go. So he was like, I buy the cheap batteries and plan to run them for a year, and if I get more than one, I'm good. This was 4 years on a $100 battery. I'm good. Yeah. So this new one was $130 because of Russia fighting Ukraine, apparently. That's what causes inflation.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Which is fine. If I get
facts.
If I get 2 years out of this battery, that's cool. If I get more than that, that's even cooler.
Yeah. So I'd be curious, is the Optima Blue Top, which is their marine battery, is that a gel cell?
I think it is, yeah.
It is.
Because
a
gel cell
is supposed to, because that's why all the Jeepers
like
people
a county
use.
or
that's what I was curious about. Like, would that help prolong it? It's still
what?
How
he said it was a jail cell.
How much is the price of an Optima battery? Like a Blue
Is it
Top?
like
I'm
the
going to take
one
a
that
guess.
Clint Eastwood
Let's
got
look
out
this
of?
up. I'm going to take a guess.
Right, right now.
I'm going to say 3-4. I'm going to say 320.
Because I remember those were like $200.
They're not anymore.
I think they're 320 to 350.
Do you remember in like Shanghai Noon when they were both in that one jail cell and they peed on the strip of the T-shirt so they could bend the bars so they could get out?
Is this a Chris Tucker movie you're talking about?
Shanghai Noon? No, dude, that was Jackie Chan.
As Bruce Lee.
It was Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson.
What did Bruce Lee?
Okay,
so clearly,
and Clint Eastwood?
No.
Clearly, batteries are different sizes and stuff. The cheapest Optima I see is $250. The most expensive is $415. So for the size of these, we're running these boats, which is car battery sized. That
Yeah,
clearly is just
deep
in deep cycle. I'm gonna 350.
Should be a marine RV is usually your deep cycle.
Yeah,
so.
and the others were blue tops.
Yeah.
So 350. I just don't think I'm getting 10 years out of that.
No.
Because if I got 4 out of $100 battery, I'll just buy one of those every 4 years or 3.
It's the Sitka waiter thing.
I'm not saying
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
and we somebody recently.
yeah.
We
I
heard,
did.
Was it you saying?
I
Heard a
went to-
story
so-
that they said.
I got waiters from Texas Fowlers, which is I'm telling you right now, go if you're in the Houston area, or if you're not in the Houston area, call them people.
Call them people.
I called her and said, "Hey, it looks like you have Drake T-Zips in stock. Can I come pick a pair up?" And she's like, "Absolutely. Come on down." So I get there, and she's like, "Okay. How tall are you?" And I was like, 5'11". She's like, "You're not going to want these." And the reason that yours were
This
so
is
baggy,
very interesting.
Yeah.
so is the fact that those guys who
Jared,
own
are you
Drake
listening?
I'm listening.
are like 6'7", 6'8". One of them I think is like 6'11", fucking 7-footers, giants. So they're regular size waiters, this is changing. Is the regular size is like a long in everything else. So she was like, "Hold this pair of Drakes up to you, and like just look at it." And the top of the waiters were like at my shoulders, and the hanger was
crotch
above
was
my
at your
head.
belly button.
Yeah,
So they fatties too?
they're not fat.
They're
It's
probably
just they're just so much.
Europeans.
They're just so
Northern Europeans.
long that they bag out on you. So she was like, "You're gonna have to get a short." And the T-Zips, she's like, "Everybody liked these T-Zips when the Sitkas came out, and they're great to pee in, but they will leak. It's gonna leak."
What do you mean
Exactly.
pee in? Like you just like we talk about all the time. You actually pee in these waiters?
Yes.
Yeah, you pee right in
Yes.
them. If you poop in them, you'll really get some stuff.
They're
going.
basically spacesuits. They'll recirculate
It just
everything.
gets sloshed
It's
around. It's
recirculated.
like the same mud that you're walking
That's
around in.
interesting.
It's homeostasis or something.
I'll tell you
like that.
just a sidebar real quick. Hogorama, I'll give you $100 if you wear an adult diaper and shit yourself. $100, dude.
$100.
We've
I'll
always
give you
talked
$100.
about.
We'll talk about
What's
that.
the diaper poker
Yeah,
game?
like tough man poker or diaper poker. You just sit around a table and drink beers, and last one at the table wins.
I can just imagine the look in someone's
I could pee
eyes when they,
myself.
like,
I could pee
can't hold
myself
their
with
shit
a-
in and just shits their pants.
I don't think I could do it.
I don't think I,
could
shit-
pee.
I would
who
100%
cares?
pee on myself.
Absolutely.
Here's
Yeah.
the deal. I've been to the least plenty of times where it's like my body just knows where it's like, listen, you're not going to shit unless you absolutely have to. Because we have to use the outhouse out there, and that's the outhouse out there, the porta john
It's
out
gross.
there is pretty it's pretty rough.
Maybe I've just spent enough time
it's
out
been-
there. I'm so indifferent
It's
about
been
it.
rode hard and put up wet.
Yeah.
God damn.
I'm not saying it's nice or clean. I'm just saying I'm not looking to like go drink a beer in there. Like, knock it out, boys, and get out.
Anyways,
Shake that shit out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so
I
the-
mean, hover poop. I don't know.
Gay. I'm too old to hover poop.
So-
I just clean it and sit down.
what did you
I'm a
just
man.
say?
As long as there's no like.
I was trying to
poop
steer the
on it.
conversation back to waiters out of
Yes, but
poop talk,
anywho,
but-
T-zips.
So she was just like, they will leak on you. They're gonna leak. She's like, if you want the most durable waiters, these Gators are where they're at, and they were $100 cheaper than the ones that
so
I
you-
wanted to buy.
The
So
same
she
ones
wasn't
he
trying
got?
to sell me like something.
Right. That's
you
good
know.
quality shit right there.
Yeah, and so I was like, well, I've always wanted the Sitka, but I just like $1,000. And she's like, everybody loved the lifetime warranty, and it was great for a while, but now everybody's getting charged $200, $400, $200 because they're sending it back and they're leaking.
Called it.
And it's like, oh, it's $200 to have it fixed. It's $400 to have it fixed. And so it depends on which pair, it seems like, because some of them they're taken care of. But I think like Joel's pair is the original boot, and I think they're repairing that because they had a known issue with
But didn't-
the connector where the boot connects
Stockton
to the
said something about sending them back, and they're just replacing the boots on them too.
Probably because they're old
That's
pairs.
the-
Because now
that's
they're
the-
lacrosse.
Well,
boots.
and that's also what
Yeah.
Morgan.
Yeah, Rossi.
He was saying his buddies
yeah.
have had some stuff replaced with them.
Yep. And they're replacing the boots. The old boots are getting replaced because they knew there was an error. But I think what's going on is they've got the new boots. They're waiters. they're going to leak. It's just going to happen eventually.
Right.
And when it gets to that point, they're charging people to put those new boots on there or repair that leak.
The problem I see now with waders is even the cheap waders are getting fucking expensive.
Oh, I mean,
I
Because
agree.
Russia's fighting Ukraine. And we're definitely not
They're all made in
we're not
4
laundering money
factories.
through Ukraine. We're supporting the efforts, even though they're not part of NATO. But anywho, it's definitely waiter
But-
prices.
But yeah, so the thing is that
Oh, no, hold on. Let him continue.
No,
No.
Tell me
Good.
more about
No.
this Ukraine stuff.
no,
I'm good.
we're done with that.
anyway, so
Man of the year.
the
Zelensky?
Stop! I can't.
What are you talking about?
get him spun up, Abe. Come on.
He didn't explain.
Y'all-
What are
y'all-
you talking about? Man of the year? What?
Time Magazine Man of the Year. It's always an interesting article. Waiters.
No, who was it? Did someone? win
I don't
this year?
remember. Jordan.
No, he's doing this. He's
No,
not
we're
going to
not
give
doing
it
not
a
this.
letting him
He's
do
being
this.
a child.
No,
The
I'm
more he
not.
does this, the longer he's
Yeah,
not
don't
able to
feed the
smoke.
fucking trolls.
It's fine.
Listen, you fucking mutant. I ain't no troll. Who the fuck's the Time Man of the Year?
Again.
Well, I mean, the problem is obviously the Sika waders look really nice. They're cool.
Badass looking.
Like, you know,
They have knee
seem-
pads.
they seem to do pretty good.
Look, knee pads and
They're
hunting pants.
awesome.
That's the
Knee
thing.
pads
I
and
get
hunting
it,
pants
boy.
are the
I get
same.
it. I
It's
get
all
you,
marketing,
boy.
though, and I get that. You're
It's
saying
very
they look, it's
thin.
all marketing because
But
I
the
think
fa-
we all think about that when we buy waders. It's like, oh, those do I look cool when I wear these? You know,
Of
like,
course.
Yes.
I mean, that's half of like
Camo. All this bullshit camo.
Yeah. What makes a camo better than the other camo?
Nothing.
When everybody says their camo's better
price.
than most camo, you look at them, you say, "I like that camo pattern." As long as it breaks up your silhouette, it's doing its job.
I mean, fucking solid colors are all the rage right now for Sitka is solid.
You can't. They're never in stock.
They're not.
Ever.
That's everybody wants the solid colors.
Yep.
That's all it is.
I'm just ready for fucking red flannel to come back, man. They need to bring that shit back.
Let me tell you,
hardcore.
there is no doubt.
If they make some
that it
fucking
will-
waders that are red flannel, bro, sign me up.
Red
Hunting
flannel layers.
fashion is like high fashion. It
It
just
is.
all goes around. Like 90s hunting gear will be back. I mean, hell, I love old school camo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
obviously.
It's back. It's the
and
thing.
yeah, I'm glad it is.
Yeah.
but
I have
like,
stencils to paint my boat with it.
hell yes.
I went on a goose hunt in Eagle Lake, and it was like, hey, meet at Bucky's in Eagle Lake. I got there, and I have never been in a spot where there were so many hunters meeting guides to go out. It was, and the amount of there was $400,000 worth of Sitka in this fucking Bucky's at one point.
For sure.
It was ridiculous. And I am
Ridiculous.
dressed in it head to toe now, which I've got my gradient pants, I've got the vest, I've got the jacket.
Gradient pants are pretty.
Let me tell you what,
pretty
you
awesome.
were not wrong. They are
I,
the best.
you know, when,
Okay,
when-
hold on. You did the finger thing, so I'm wondering that you really mean this. Are you talking about those waiter pants that
Yeah.
they got?
Yes.
yes, yes,
It's time for you.
If
Why
to
you
would
would-
you say it like that? Calm down.
You
You're
need
it's
to
time
be
for you to-
sassy
right now.
No.
I
Buy
get-
some Sitka pants, damn
Look,
it.
no. I'm just saying, spending the little bit extra
Yeah.
money is 100% worth it.
Yes.
Like holy.
Yeah, I did
Oh,
spend
my-
extra money this year. I bought
What I-
actual merino wool
Uh-huh.
base layers.
And then next year buy a new piece and,
then
buy a
I
new piece
put-
every year.
And then I put my sweatpants on, my joggers. They're Champion.
And they're cotton.
And I'm great.
cotton blend.
yeah,
Still
and,
cotton.
and
Yeah,
that's
still
and that's how I
cotton.
rolled for a very, very, very,
Up
very,
until this
very,
year, I did
very
the
long
same thing.
time.
That's cool.
And I wore pajama pants that were
Yeah, that's all I've ever done.
yeah. So I just bought pajama pants. I started running joggers, and then after that, I was like, I want
I'm moving down there.
another pair of pants.
on with it.
That was like
I knew
meant
this was
for
gonna
this shit.
fucking happen. You were gonna fucking move when you broke up the goddamn band. I'm sorry, he
You're
distracted me.
no,
Jordan.
you're interrupting
He's
our
over
friend.
here talking about he's gonna move to the fucking coast.
Jordan,
Fuck
continue.
you, man. Fuck both of you. Jordan, it's you and me, bro. Till I fucking
It's
die.
not because he can't finish the sentence.
Dude, you haven't told him yet?
Pajama pants. Pardon
for
me.
end of the season.
no continue.
I'm going home.
Why?
I'm done. I've upset Jordan now because of you two and your fucking lollygagging about moving to the coast.
Lollygagging?
And that's exactly all it is lollygagging.
Lollygagging.
I don't believe you at all.
That's fine.
And you already did move down there.
Lollygag is a great word.
I fucking love it.
Well, I heard a word the other day that I was like, I need to add that.
Pitter patter?
No. I'll think of it. Finish your story. Blade hand.
Oh, he's now defiant, Jordan.
No, he is.
He is defiant, Jordan.
He's like, no, fuck you people. I'm
But-
sitting back.
I'm not going to say anything now.
We're trying to make a storm drain, like
Stay on track.
Actual storm drain, because that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing tonight. We're just going to derail the whole time. So
That is our MO.
This is a Storm Drain podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So we're circling it.
Oh, I'm done now. Now it's back to you.
but I forgot where I was going.
See, this is where I told you to stop.
You know, I have a brain thing,
Well, I'm the asshole.
and now you.
I apologize.
It started with the slurp because I really wanted to laugh, but I was trying to keep on.
We're talking
track.
about Sitka.
Your pants. Your
Pants.
Raider pants. And how you used to wear pajama pants just like I did for fleece and no cotton?
So the amount. So I would layer with, because I don't like the cold, like Austin.
Yes, what's up?
If y'all guys ever listen to us, I'm a weenie when it comes to cold. I can stand out in 9-degree weather and be fine. Do I?
Oh, we'll get there.
Oh yeah. But
Oh, that's right.
the fact that I can go out and, what was it, 37 degrees, and I didn't wear base layers. I just wore those pants.
Yeah, when we got
And like my new waders that I'm running now, which are the Rogers waders,
uninsulated.
they're uninsulated. So I was just wearing these Sitka pants, and I was good.
Are they? Are there no quilt lining? Nothing. They're just
No,
wader
They're like fly
material.
fishing waders.
Nice.
Do your waders have lining?
They're breathables without a lining. I wouldn't
Those
say
are the
they're
same.
like fly fishing waders.
I mean,
These
that's
are
They're
hunting
just not
waders.
like there's
that's
no.
that's
Fly
fly
fishing waders are going to be thinner than what we've got. Ours are
barely,
I mean,
barely, because I've got a pair of fishing waders. But the point is, you're not quilted or anything. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
Yeah, no,
Or neoprene, or yeah.
I mean the boots are insulated, which I was really happy about. That's the one thing I looked at. I was like, are the boots at least insulated? The boots are insulated,
Oh, yeah.
but the actual waders have no insulation in them. So
I don't know if you can hear the dog snoring, but that's what
just-
we're laughing at.
Max in the back.
Max's snoring is loud as fuck. It's fine.
I'm wearing
But
headphones,
Austin's
and it's-
petting is like in tune, in time with Max's.
As I stared
snoring.
at Jared.
And so I was like, "Is his pets making him snore? Is this real life?"
Is this real
Hey man,
Hey man.
So
But that my point being is
it's quality.
I talk to a lot of people that are like, nah, man, I ain't gonna go stand out in the lake in freezing cold weather just to hang out because it's cold and I don't want to be cold. And it's like once you start understanding layering, it's better. Once you start understanding layering and buying decent gear, like you said, Austin, a piece at a time is how I've been doing it. Like I've been slowly,
Like one a year.
yeah, like I wait, something goes on sale, and I'm like, all right, time to buy these pants. I bought those pants for $100.
yep,
You know, I think they're $120.
there is no
actually,
excuse
but like
ever,
it was.
ever to pay full price for Sitka. If you
No.
do, you're a sucker.
Yeah,
There's a
everyone
sale
gets
4
deal.
times a year. At least there's a sale going on right now.
That's
That's
some- the
pro
stuff
price.
if not more.
Yeah, I mean so
So hold on, $100. How much are these things regularly then?
Two.
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
180.
Peas and rice.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, but you think about it, if you really think about it, I mean,
Talk about all the features. I mean, this doesn't need to turn into a commercial, but
It's just
there's a few things that are like, all right, that makes sense.
pants.
well, the big thing is the comfy little stirrups.
Exactly.
Stirrups are great.
And the
I
cut
mean-
is narrow.
Yeah, the cuts narrow. They're
they slip in-
they're basically
joggers.
fleece lined joggers. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think there's a little bit of water repellent to
There
the
is.
material.
And they're wicking too.
And-
When you
yeah.
get out, you can feel the moisture on the outside.
yeah.
Every time.
Well, that's what I
I
was
had
gonna say. Like
a
today,
real bad leak that was like at my boot seam. So the bottom of that wader, my sock was drenched. I mean, I had wool socks, but drenched.
Yeah.
And the bottom of that pant was wet, but like I
Didn't
couldn't
matter.
tell. You know?
Well, like today was a weird day because it got kind of hot. It was kind of cool in the morning. I wore my Sika pants, and when I went to go take a leak, I was like, man, are my waders leaking? Because like my pants are wet, but inside the pants
Were you sitting
dry.
down?
Yeah, it was just all the condensation.
Yeah. So
even
that was
inside
one
my
of the things
boat
that they talked to me
was
about.
wet, yeah.
Was she was like, look, here's the deal. When when wear straps over your
Yeah, that's
shoulders,
why most guys wear their straps kind of
loose.
And
if you do that, because when you bend your knee,
right. Okay.
it
Say
traps.
what she said, because like I kind of interrupted you. Like
She
I know what
says
you're talking about, but
she was like, put on these waders, and she was like, are they tough to get on? And I was like, yes. This one was wasn't like
Are you leaning a
tough,
right
but
now?
it was a little bit of a, like they didn't just slide on,
This your new ones?
Yeah, the Gators. So I mean,
And
like
that was your 12s?
Your gators are leaking?
no, not at all. She was just
just
like,
got 'em.
so when you put them on, and she was like, when you sit down, she was like, so adjust your straps when you're walking in, so that they don't, move around. But then when you get to the blind, loosen them up, which will give you a little bit more
'Cause
space
it
in
pulls
them.
tight on your knees get cold. That's what mine do.
That, but plus it cuts off. It creates
Who's this
condensation
lady?
the
Where's
air
she at?
there, and that's why you get wet
What
in
was
the
this
inside of
at?
them. What's that?
Where
at the
was
waiter place.
The
At
like
Texas
waterfowler
Fowlers.
shop.
Yeah.
It's called Texas Fowlers. It's in Katy,
Flowers?
Texas. Yes, Texas Flowers. That's where I got my fucking waders.
I'm just
They
asking,
actually have
dude.
flowers all over.
Trying to
them.
get
They
you to
blend
give them
in.
a plug. I just want you to pronounce the word right.
They don't need a plug. They're like
You're-
the largest
what you're
wader
doing
distributor.
is you're fouling this up right now.
He brought it back. He brought it back.
It was funny because she
That's
was
good
like,
information.
She was like, the guy at Gator. I was like, yeah, who's it, David? And she was like, yeah, David Frisbee. I was like, yeah, he's been on our podcast a bunch. So she was great. I mean,
Sounds like it.
She was. I mean, to the
I would
point
like
of like,
somebody to sell me things like that.
like it was just so nice to have somebody like as opposed to going to Academy
or
and-
just order online like I hope this works out.
Yeah, so it was just they had a bunch of waiters
in
in
the
there.
Bass Pro for the. I mean, about
There's
the
nothing
first,
wrong with that.
First
No.
set of neoprene waiters, and they were leaking after like 2 uses, so
Yeah.
I took them back and got breathables, and I'm literally there. Their waiters are all by their boots and shoes, and I'm sitting there trying them on myself, and like people who work there just kind of looking at me.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
It's like
We've
right,
all
cool.
done that
Like you're
until
useless. I know what
Abe's
I know what I'm
experience.
about, son. Leave me
Yeah,
alone.
I mean, I saw the Gator Waiter guys at that outdoor show or whatever, so I got to kind of try them on and touch them. Other than that, like, and up until Abe's experience, it was either just buy blind online and hope, like you do with
Go to
Rogers,
Academy,
and you
yeah.
seem fine, or go to Academy or Bass Pro, which is very fine. But it's always nice to touch something and try it on before you buy it. And then to have somebody give you that level of service, like just like, hey, this work I know and have seen in the industry.
Yeah.
like
They
all
should
right.
do that with like foods you can buy at the grocery store. Like instead of having to buy the food and then try it, you're like, oh, this sucks. Like someone
sit
should
there and,
like
like,
let
cook your
you
meal,
try
like,
some
samples?
shit,
Like,
you know
like
what
let
I'm
me
saying?
let me just whip up a little tikka masala here,
Like
and make
the-
sure I like
the
this.
little Debbie snack cakes. Like sometimes they have some new shit, and you're like, I don't know if it's gonna be good. Sure, wish I could try it.
how can it not be good?
I mean, it happens sometimes. Sometimes
Like
they
what?
miss the mark.
Like what's one little Debbie's that's not good?
Like he loves cosmic brownies. And
I don't.
I don't like that.
I don't like cosmic brownies either.
Yeah,
You just
do.
like regular brownies?
Like
You want brownies with nuts, not nerds.
nuts are meh. Regular brownies.
I do not like nuts on my brownie.
Not a fan
I'll
of
take
brownies
nerds
at
on
all,
it.
Really.
Did you see my picture I sent the other day?
I would.
I cook brownies. I 100% cut out the center.
I don't remember seeing that.
I showed it to Whitney. I showed it to
He
Whitney.
sent it to the group text, and it's clearly.
I was like,
a
"Who am
chat
I?"
with you.
Was
Yeah.
it if it was Tuesday, I was stacked up busy.
Yeah, it was like, who am I? And he sent a picture of just a center
Oh, I
brownie
missed
cut
that
out of a
completely.
pan.
Good job,
and,
buddy.
and
Good
then
job.
I put up Cindy Lou Who from the Jim Carrey Grinch going the and then Jim Carrey is the Grinch.
Like,
was
yeah,
good.
Jordan came correct with like a solid gift game
Yeah.
in response to what Abe sent, and you completely missed all that. I saw it, guys. Good
Yeah.
job.
No,
both
I
of you.
appreciate it.
I cut one edge out and put it
liked
back so I
my
could cut the
gifts,
center
and I
out.
was really upset. Like, I was
one
really
of
upset.
those-
Like I was so proud of myself.
I couldn't even.
And like,
it was so good, I couldn't even like give you a like on it. Like I just.
oh
I just
yeah,
had to
that
live-
because that fucking happens.
it does. Sometimes some shit's just so solid. I'm like,
You
I'm
just
gonna leave
laugh and
this
you put it
alone.
down, and you're like, oh, you don't react to it.
Yeah, but I need the satisfaction that people knew that. I
So that
thought
Arctic
out.
blast blew in, man, and it got super fucking cold here, and
It got cold everywhere.
He broke a pipe outside.
we fucking
4.
decided to go.
I had
someone
4
hunting.
leaks.
Someone in my neighborhood had like it just today. They stopped the leak,
Oh,
and it was like 2
Shooting?
streets up.
How do you not just
Like-
shut the water off?
Like it's been leaking for days.
Was
somebody-
someone not home?
I went across the canal and shut somebody's water off because they were just fucking pouring water
Is
out.
that house across the way that's all fucked up
That house has been remodeled completely now.
already?
Oh, they've been working on that motherfucker morning,
So
noon,
it's-
and night.
Because when we went down there, someone had bought it already, and they were kind of slowly packing up their shit.
Yeah. The pedo?
That house is cool, man.
Across
It's got
the
that.
way?
Yeah.
It's got that lot next door with the pool in it.
That
and
fucker
everything.
had an ocean of water coming out of it.
The pool.
So, yeah, with the pool, that had an
Navy
ocean of
SEAL.
water. Then
Yeah,
my
don't
neighbor,
forget- don't
another
forget.
house down across the canal, that house had it coming out of, and I was on the phone with him like, "Where's your water cutoff?" He's like, "It's on the left side of the driveway." I'm like, "There is nothing here." He's like, "It's right in the middle of the driveway on the left side." I'm like, I took a picture finally. I was like, "I don't see this," and so I finally am kicking dirt. I kicked over it the first time, and then I had to kick an inch and a half of dirt. I was like, "How?" So finally, to get down to it to open it
You
up.
don't. I mean,
Well, I mean, he
Down
was
there-
just like, "It's
yeah.
right there in the middle. It's right there in the middle. I see it every time I come over there." So I was expecting like
something.
to see like a thing, and finally, turn it off. But yeah, it's that CPVC. I've capped it. I got 2 spigots down right now because it's not in stock at all. I'm gonna go to Home Depot here and pray it's there. Because I don't
Good
know if
luck.
y'all use so much.
After a freeze like that, most
luck.
fittings.
But like
disappear.
CPVC, so like half inch. No, I think it's half inch.
you really need to know this before you buy
It's
it.
half inch CPVC is what it is. I know for a fact. Is that something that gets used a bunch here?
Say
in
that
Dallas?
5 times fast.
Maybe.
Like this.
I should have bought a bunch of it
I
before.
don't hear about your fucking pipes, Abe.
Or
I'm
you-
talking about some hunting.
Just drip them.
I dripped them. It's just
all
drip
of his
them
shit's
more.
exposed.
Yeah.
that's the problem. It's
Drip
just
it more.
exposed. That's what I should have done.
I
It
mean,
was
almost running.
like
Did you
that's what I
winterize
should have
your
done.
pipes?
What's that?
This Arctic blast could happen again, man.
You ever rub your leather?
Cap, you got a nice bonsoir.
Yeah. So yeah, the Arctic blast was bad. We had ice in the marsh. Like it was
Dude.
crazy.
That's fucking weak, bro. He couldn't even fucking run the boat, dude. We had to go to this other spot, man. Dude.
All right, I want to know.
Dude.
I'd like to hear the story of you falling in.
Let's get to this. Hold on. So I just want to I'm gonna start the morning off. I meet up with them.
He's teeing it up.
We're gonna
Abe.
we're gonna go to the small little pond we've been calling Teal Pond, in the park we normally run in through to go hunt on grapevine. So thankfully Austin had figured out prior that you can just drive up to this fucking spot, and I'm like, I'm about that, because the boat, he couldn't get like the throttle cable was just
It's a little
frozen.
foreshadowing.
Couldn't get that shit going, right? So it's like, all right, cool. And even the night before, like, Steph's talking to me, and she's like, hey, like, I just really want you to be careful. It's going to be real cold. And I'm like, I'll be good. I'll be with Austin. Like, here, look at this text. He's got the pop-up blind and the Mr. Buddy heater. Like, we'll have a little hot tent. We'll be good. And then even further back up, we're driving on this pheasant hunt to Dumas, and it's like a 6-hour drive. So he's like, hey, man, have you ever heard these campfire stories from Steve Ranella? They're like close call stuff. I'm like, no, absolutely not. So listen to that shit, and finished it the day before. I finished the second book the day before. So
that
I'm
shit'll
listening
it'll fuck with you.
a little bit. It did, yeah. Especially like going into this hunt. I was talking
100% rethink.
I was
your
talking to
shit.
Austin. I was like, hey, man, I was like, like I'm excited to go, and I'm not bitching out or anything, but it's like almost kind of like it's kind of exciting because it kind of feels like something we shouldn't be doing, you know, like it's gonna be like weather we've not hunted in before. But then we get, you know, like dude, guys hunt in this kind of weather all the time up fucking north. And I just Ducks Unlimited just did a podcast about the
was it
the
Armistice?
Armistice Day? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
The freeze in 1940, and I've been kind of doing some research a little bit about it, just because I think it's an interesting story.
It's crazy.
And I think I've told you guys. I think it'd be fun for us to talk about.
Why do they call it Armistice Day?
That's just. I think there's Armistice Day all the time. I think it's just happened to be.
It was on that day.
Okay, on that day.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway,
there's another crazy story if you want to go down the rabbit hole of
about the
fog
wolves.
rolling in and people and duck hunters getting pushed over Niagara Falls because they didn't know.
They were just going and like,
Yeah. But anywho, keep going.
hey man, people been getting in them fucking whiskey
Barrels.
going down that motherfucker.
my God.
So this is all on my mind as we're gonna go hunt this spot, right? And we have the other spot that we, you know, that's been good to us. We were gonna go hunt, so I pull up there while Austin, Jordan, and Christian are at the other spot, and sure enough, there's a truck there already, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm talking to you guys on the phone. This dude gets out of his truck, you know, nice guy. He's a young man, and we're just kind of bullshitting for a little bit. I was like, yeah, man, like I got some buddies over here at this other spot. You know, I'm thinking about maybe getting over here. You know, are you hunting alone? He's like, no, I got buddies who are down there already. And I'm thinking, I'm like, there's only one fucking truck over here, but okay.
And there was zero. No, we were the first people in the place.
So
we go.
well, next to that, he said, well, my buddies were at the park. They were the first ones in. And I'm thinking, well, I just talked to my friend. He said they were the first one in line. No one was fucking there.
They were at a different spot.
It must have been.
No, I asked them.
Oh, okay. Anyways, so this dude, he's in the truck with his dog, you know, keeping the dog a little warm before they go out and sit in this fucking ice, saying, you know, they've seen thousands of birds down. I'm like, hey, man, power to you guys. You got here first. Good luck, you know, shoot straight. Finally, you know, those guys had boated up to where we were going to hunt, and they took off, so I came to meet you. We figured out we sat in our trucks for damn near almost 2 hours, right?
Probably.
I mean, close to it. We were sat in the trucks for about 2 hours, and I actually finished the campfire stories that morning. That morning, yeah.
Because there was no reason, I mean, call us weak or not, there was no reason to just sit out in the wind.
Fuck no, hell no.
We were 50 yards from where we were going to hunt.
Yeah. So we got set up. We're chilling, you know, throw a couple deeks out. Austin was nice enough to get in the water. You know, obviously he has waders on, but he fucking went out and put deeks out.
It wasn't bad.
You know, we used our little panel blind. We didn't really need to quite brush us into more, and we kind of discussed where should we sit. And then an iPhone and an actual compass failed us, and we did not think we were setting up facing the sun, and we fucking totally did. Not my fault. I followed the instructions of the compass man and the cell phone man.
It's true. This is all true.
Did you have it calibrated correctly?
Did you do the
regular
How do you
compass?
calibrate a fucking real compace?
Did you have
Jared,
good batteries
now he's
in it?
banned.
Jesus.
take a magnet and swirl it around her?
I mean,
It always does it.
and to be fair, I mean, for most of the time we were shooting before the sun really got up in the sky, it was fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, birds were fucking piling in. We were doing good. And it was just, we didn't take Max because it was just too cold. He hadn't been in that kind of
Look
weather
at this
before.
dog. I mean,
As he's just fucking balls deep asleep right now on the couch, living it
Balls
up,
deep
bro.
asleep. I guess that's a way to put it.
Austin went to go try to fetch up some birds. You know, we unfortunately we lost a couple birds, which fucking sucks real bad.
here's what's crazy is shot a couple, saw one go down. It was kind of diving a little bit, wasn't quite dead, and I was real close to it, and it just disappeared. And I was like, oh, it's dead, and I stomped around. Jared's like, it's probably under the ice. I was like, I don't know, I don't
This
see
was
it.
later on, yeah.
Yeah, and I walked around, and it swam and come up under the ice and was stuck under there, you know. So I
Oh,
busted out
shit.
the ice and got it.
I kept yelling at him. I was like, dude, that thing's under the
I
ice.
just couldn't see it, but I got some clear
Sure.
ice, and it was a green-winged teal laid up
Just
against
up
the ice.
underneath the ice.
Crazy.
like one of those cartoons?
Yeah. Basically.
And then, as of course, you know, we had a couple birds who were just, you know, Hulk birds who took, I think, you know, 2 or 3 water swats to finally go down. Son of a bitch, dude. That's a thing, man.
I shot one it was in ice and was still trying to get away, and I fucking just
Well, one
You're
of these
dead
birds,
now.
I can't remember what bird this was, but one of the birds climbed up and got on the ice and was starting to try to scurry away. And I think someone fucking pounded it again with another
me tell
shot
you
to
what.
get it.
I'm murdering birds now that I stopped shooting Rio.
We're all starting to agree with that.
I'm with you there.
I mean,
I think it's 100%.
I like to blame myself for a lot of it, but then I put another
You
shell
were
in,
with
and
me.
it's
We were all together when I shot that bird, and we all saw it take the hit and keep
it was
going.
it was in the middle of his pattern
Yeah.
on the water. Like, I mean,
And just
it was
ate
like
it.
everything
Like, I
around
shot
this,
that
in front of
fucking
it,
bird.
behind
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the only thing that didn't hit water was the silhouette of the bird behind the pattern.
Oh, my God.
And, like, the bird flew away.
Think of the water swats. A water swat's kind of a done deal.
I mean, as long as you hit it,
It was
it
something.
should be done.
But
I don't know.
I agree.
I'm through it
I'm
all.
I'm gonna
almost
say
done.
that we were talking about this before you got here. I packed my bag today. I'm not taking any Rio with me this weekend because there might be a cool ass duck.
Yeah. I mean, I've shot through it all.
That's where I'm at. I'm just
And I
like,
killed ducks with it. I'm not saying
Yeah,
it's
no,
we all killed
we
a lot.
put
I
some
just-
birds down for sure.
I've been
well,
shooting
and
But now that I've spent money on other ammo,
what have
Federal
you-
Steel Shock right now.
Still shot.
Federal Steel Shock has
Sticking with
been
heavy.
they just haven't. It's been what I can kind of find.
I've got
Unfortunately,
was it Fiocchi?
yeah.
I've enjoyed that. That's good
Yeah.
shit. And
I've
I've
got some Nigra.
I did buy. I was talking about earlier. I got some
Negro's
Monarch.
awesome. The splits.
Yeah.
What, like the 2.3s?
Yeah.
It's 2.4s, yeah.
2.4s,
3
okay.
inch.
That's
I've looked
exactly-
at those too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got a mixed
For
bag of ammo
$27
right now. I'm gonna
a
try some
box?
shit out.
It ain't for the quality of ammo.
I've got
it
some
is.
Negro's
bismuth mix too. I
Bismuth.
bought.
You do?
I told you
Yeah.
about it. It was cheaper than the heavy shot. It was like steel and bismuth, and I was like, okay, I'll buy this because it was
Dang.
like $2 cheaper. It was still like $30.
I
or
saw it at
something.
Academy
What?
the other
What was it?
I can't remember. I'd have to look when I get home.
Oh man.
I saw it at Academy
Yeah,
the other
that's-
day.
yeah.
I saw bismuth, heavy steel bismuth at Academy the other day. It was fucking $58 a box. And
Probably.
I was like, no,
Bass Pro
no.
when I went to Bass Pro last time, when I swapped out those waders, they had bismuth and it was like close to like almost $70 for a
Yeah,
box,
like
dude.
Jesus, that's
$3 a round if you're getting a
that
70.
is
No, thank
thank
you.
$2 a round. But
And I'll tell you what,
if you pick your shots,
these boys down here, like Glenn and Andrew,
spend money.
no, they fucking bought that Monarch shit, and they've been fucking murdering
That's
birds.
that's what I just
bought-
bought some. I bought some Monarch number 4s and I was like, I think it was like $10. I was like, I'll try this shit out. Why not?
Murdering birds.
We derailed the cold weather story quick.
Totally. No, I was
We'll
gonna
get
say
back to that.
let's steer back. So, anyways, we're shooting birds. It's a fun hunt. We're doing great. And then finally, we're like, hey, listen, if you shoot a bird, go fucking get it. Like, don't wait around
Yeah,
and
we're
let's
not-
retrieve it later. Go get the damn bird. Because we had lost a few already. So Jordan's got a bird down, and he goes to get it. And
So what time is it right now?
Got 2 birds down.
Yeah.
What time is this?
with those
in the
the
morning?
scops,
Like,
No. One was
7:30, 8
a
o'clock?
teal and one was a
Ish.
scop.
Ish.
did you go back out for the teal then, or because those scops were together?
Scott.
No, they weren't.
Like,
Why are you
Bluebells?
smiling at me? You're smiling at me like I'm fucking with you.
Yes, I went back for the teal. Because you went after the scop. Who's finishing the story?
yeah. Everybody get quiet real
I've
fast.
been derailed. I'm lost.
Yeah. I shot at the scop and a teal. And they were down and I went after them before they went out.
Sure.
And in my hurry, since we had lost a few birds, I was hurriedly running through, and it was like a tangled mess of like branches.
There's
all
a
kinds
ton of
shit.
there's a ton of
God.
big trees down right
and
there.
there's
Birds are coming in.
and there's ice, and I was
This
just
is
like,
a
I'm gonna
cove where
go.
debris lands.
And they were stone cold dead, and then one of them starts getting back up, like it was belly
Zombie
up
bird.
in the water, and it's like starts getting up, and it like shakes itself off, and I'm like,
I
what
don't
the
get it.
fuck? Yeah, it was just so, and so like now I'm like, get to it quick before it like gets to it, and I stepped on a branch. And then started bringing my other foot over, and I felt the branch under me roll.
But you kind of took a knee the first time.
Yeah. and then stumbled and then grabbed another one, and the same thing happened. I got tangled up in the branches and then went like head first, and I'm holding my shotgun with both hands and go head first.
He went neck deep.
Yeah.
Watching it was like very concerning.
Like,
I can't even
Oh,
imagine.
I knew then.
After the fact, though, hilarious.
Yeah.
And then so I get up and I was like, oh, and I guess kind of a bad point of having nice gear. I was like, stood there for a minute, and I looked around. I'm like,
oh no.
Oh, I don't have any.
You were a deer in headlights.
Yeah, well,
Because the shock of the cold water. It was 33
Well,
degree
yelling
water.
at him to get out of the water, go to the truck, go
We're
to
like,
the truck, go to the
come
truck.
on, man.
and so I started going after him again, and then tripped again, and went all the way under, and then finally Grinch was like, "Just go." I'm like, "I'll get the birds." He's like, "We'll handle the birds. You
Yeah,
get back to
get
the
out
truck."
of the water.
I'm like, fine.
So Austin went and ran him to the truck.
Because he was like, I'll just go back to the truck.
Which
I was
isn't-
like, nah, I'm going with him.
which
Yeah.
isn't that far.
Yeah.
No, but you also got out of the lake and was like, and like trying to figure out where to set your shotgun down. I was like, fucking throw it on the ground.
Yeah,
like,
just
it's fine. But it was the water and the cold, like deer in headlights. So I was
Yeah.
like, we got to go to the truck, homie.
If you're listening to this, I'd like you for this next part that's about
Well-
to be explained. Please go reference our Stormwater Creek's Instagram account because there's a picture of what you're about to talk about.
So even before that, before what the picture is, I want to almost applaud Grinch because me and him talked about this. We're talking about things we wanted. We started saying, hey, maybe we should take a dry bag with some extra clothes. Because we never really, like, it's going to be cold, you know, like.
Getting wet at 35 or 40 sucks, but it's
like,
you're fine.
Like, we're like, what if something happens? And, you know, I mean, you could say, maybe let's put some bad juju on it. I don't believe that. I think that we were well prepared.
First of all, there's a reason that they call it always be prepared.
Yeah.
And if you
And
don't have your kids in scouts, let them be in scouts.
and so we get to the truck.
because now you can
Time
sleep
out.
with girls in Boy Scouts. That's
when did
badass.
They call. Where have you heard that saying before? Like,
Always be prepared.
I mean, I've just heard that in general, but like, what specifically? Like,
The Boy Scouts of America.
Maybe.
Austin's an Eagle Scouts. Tell me,
I can't remember. Maybe it's that or maybe it's just be prepared. I don't know. But the point stands.
that's
Oh,
fair.
it's
The
always
point
be,
stands.
It's
always be-
100% a Boy Scout thing.
Yeah, it's always be prepared.
Is it?
Always be
I was
prepared.
a Boy Scout. Never made the Eagle.
Yeah, I was a
never
life.
that
I was
lame.
a life. No, what
Life's
is?
right for Eagle.
Yeah, I was a life scout
Why didn't you just finish?
because I started figuring out girls.
Why are you acting?
I started.
Are you still figuring them out? Like,
Of course.
like why did you
I
get
did-
so
did-
weird about that?
Started figuring out girls.
Did anyone figure them out? 'Cause-
No, but I figured out how to make them do things.
Okay.
He's still mumbling.
So continue on, Jordan.
so-
We're talking about you
So-
falling in the
Gosh.
freezing water.
So Grinch runs up.
I gotta add some water effects, and it, like that, and then like a crash of water.
Oh,
like a
man.
Oh,
splash.
you've been
sure-
listening to the goddamn.
I'm just gonna. It'll be like one of those like, whoop, like one of those,
Dude.
like a bubble underwater noise.
The
Yeah,
campfire
there we go.
stories are ridiculous because we listened to that the whole way back from elk camp.
I've got a very vague one that I'm actually gonna try to get us on the podcast, but I'll explain that later after we're done
Yeah.
talking about Jordan
Keep
falling in
going.
the freezing water.
Yeah.
So get running back to the truck. Do you remember what you kept saying to me? You kept saying, "Dude, my knees burn so bad."
Yeah.
Plugged
you
your
cut
gun
these
though.
Huh?
You plugged your gun.
Well,
He didn't know he did.
You
No,
fell
I
into
did.
the-
I
you
did.
did?
You
I
fell
saying-
into the water and plugged your gun.
I think I knew more than you thought. I was just trying to figure
you
out
got back to the
where,
blind,
like,
and you kept saying, "I'm gonna throw."
I think I'm going to throw up.
no, I knew 100% I plugged my gun. I thought I plugged it worse than I did.
It wasn't
Funny
until later that
that's
I
the
realized
second time
that
that's
you had.
happened to you.
Yeah.
Somebody fell and plugged their gun down in the South crew. And they were like, "Should I?" Oh, it's my buddy Brandon. I was like, "Should I shoot it out?" I'm like, "No,
No,
no."
Why
no.
don't you just call it your new crew? So
It
that
was
sounds
a
true.
friend from high school who lives up here that was down there hunting with me. So,
He was
how about
down-
you get fucked,
Boy.
boy?
Well, you started to
just an
rekindle a
island boy.
relationship now that you have a boat down at the coast. So he's your
Allegedly have a boat.
Allegedly, it doesn't work right now. It's just something in the way in my
So,
driveway.
It's
Jordan
still a
got
boat.
back to the truck with Austin, and
buy
you
it
said
from
you're
me for $100.
you were more aware than
serious.
he's letting on.
No. I think
I'll weld our boats together.
I think what he's saying is accurate.
120
I
inch
realized
wide
what was
boat.
going on, and once we were walking back to the truck,
I'm gonna unplug both your fucking microphones.
walking back to the truck, you definitely like. I started like that's what I was saying earlier about having like the good gear. That wasn't down in my pants until I started walking back to the truck, and I could feel it trickle down because my top was definitely cold because that's where none of my good gear is. But my legs were fine, but I could feel it go through my pants and hit my knees, and my knees instantly started burning because my waders at my knees. My waders on the outside were a block of like a sheet of ice. Like I mean,
The whole time.
Absolutely,
Like,
yeah. We were
yeah,
It was like walking in a cardboard suit.
So my waders were already freaking frozen, and then inside my waders were
like
frozen.
really starched pants.
So it like doubled because like up top I had like more layers of what was going on.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that bad up top, but once it started hitting all that mess, it was getting worse. We got to the truck. Grinch started it. I started trying to pull it off, and that's when like I couldn't like I was shaking and
your
I couldn't.
fine motor skills started going, trying to get the waders off.
And here's one thing I don't like about my new waders. I've complained about this before.
Those hooks.
Those little hooks are pain in the ass to get off.
We did talk about that, yeah.
And so like I'm already losing motor skills and like can't get my strap off. So like I'm like having even more trouble than usual. And then like once I get that off, now my waders are literally stiff because they're just frozen. I had to break ice off of them to get myself out
Did
of
Austin
them.
help undress you at all?
Of course.
Okay.
Because he's a fucking friend.
I'm just making sure because
It wasn't in great shape.
I didn't know if you were just kind of standing around
And,
like
I mean-
looking at him.
You're just like, what the fuck
I
is wrong with
I
you,
opened a
dude?
Pop-Tart and was like, you good, bro?
Am I not,
Wait, you had Pop-Tarts that morning? No! You son of a bitch!
am I not beautiful?
Yeah.
Do you not want to undress me?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
But
Yeah,
so like,
you got
so like
your
he starts ripping the clothes out of the dry bag that he has, and like, man, it was awesome going into like from freezing ass cold, wet.
You got your waders off and got
Yeah.
in.
He was like, get in the truck, just get
I
in
was
the
like,
truck.
you can strip down the rest in the back of the truck because there was still some sort of heat and it
Yeah.
was still inside something.
Yeah, you're out of the
So it was
air.
in there, and I mean, you used to try. When I noticed things were interesting, was
like,
you trying to turn the fleece pants right side out because I just stuffed from the dry bag, and you just couldn't do it. I was like, holy shit! Like,
It's amazing.
finish stripping your shit down. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
how quick that
And-
shit works.
And I mean, it was frustrating because, like, kind of what we were saying earlier. In my mind, nothing was this big of a deal, but it was like I'm watching it where I can't do something.
Sounds
like,
really familiar to the
Like-
campfire
Disconnect.
stories I
That
just heard.
disconnect.
you know, and I'm like, fuck, dude, like why? And like Grinch, you can tell Grinch is like, dude, like you need to get warm. You need to get warm. He's like, fucking heat seaters on the front, like this, that, and the other. Just put my Crocs on. Don't worry about that. Just put this on, like. And
I got a puffy jacket, a puffy vest,
we talked
fleece
further
bottoms,
about
and a
it.
merino top. Like, put whatever, like all.
Yeah.
Get it on.
And I-
Get it on. Get it on. Get it on.
after I was dry,
You were
and sitting there
perfectly fine.
it was like instant
Totally.
light switch. Like I was like, okay,
And a
like,
vacuum.
and when y'all were cleaning up, I was like, I should run out here and help clean up. I'm like,
the
oh, it's pretty
scenario-
cold out here, but no big deal. Like, and everyone's like, get back in the fucking truck.
No, I knew
It
you
worked
were-
out way
I
better
was
than-
as soon as we got you in dry clothes and you sat down in the front seat with the seat heater on. I was like, I'm going to shoot birds. Like,
Yeah.
you're
You're
fine
fine.
now. There's nothing that bad. That
Yeah,
can
I
happen.
brought your phones to you, and like you had the binos out, and you're just like, "Hey, buddy," and I was
my
like,
binos in the
"I was
back.
like, all right, cool. Like you're
Yeah.
perfectly fine. Here's your phone, so you're not bored."
I was in this nice warm thing, and it was almost perfect. I wish there wasn't so much like trees and stuff because like I was just watching y'all. Like y'all shot a couple birds, went after them, and I was like watching y'all in the binos in the nice warm truck. It was pretty nice.
That's the way to do
But
it.
I mean, thankfully that all played out as it did because had the throttle not frozen on the boat and had we taken the boat out, we would have been in a completely different spot. It wouldn't have been like a quick solve, like let's go fucking throw you in the truck.
I had that covered. Because remember, I was taking that pop-up blind and that propane heater.
Where was it?
It was in my garage to be packed in the boat.
Safety's no accident, dude.
Yeah, and it stayed here with the boat.
Okay, you still could have brought it with us
Why?
because we could have used it where we were sitting because it was kind of cold.
Okay.
That's fair. That is a fair statement.
You could have sat in your truck.
I couldn't. That's not.
We did discuss that, and which would have been awesome. Like sit in the truck running,
shoot out
roll
the window.
like just roll the window
down, and just lay in the back of my truck like a sniper.
No, the windows.
Passenger window.
Oh god, I need to get like one of those overlanding tents on top of the truck, and then we can just sit in the tent on top of my truck and shoot birds.
Oh my god, these guys.
No, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
You guys are both giggling on your phones.
I'll show you later.
Anyways, that was a fun hunt. Even though you fell in the water and it was scary for a second, it turned out good. And then I remember packing everything up towards the end there, and I was like, cool. And Austin's like, his gun's not unloaded, and it's not unsafe. And I go to look at it, and I try to like move the safety, and it's like, okay, that's frozen. Let me see if I can unload this. No, that's not going to move.
It's unsafe because it's a block of ice.
This is completely frozen, so this is just going to go into his gun bag, and it's going to go in the back of the truck, and I'm going to be like, hey, don't forget, this thing's loaded and the safety's not on.
My firing pin froze that one time, I swear, because I went click and nothing happened.
Glenn's was the same way. He was like he'd fire one off and it wouldn't cycle. It was now. But
well, I know my gun stayed frozen
yeah.
all the way home. I left it in the garage for a little bit. It still didn't unfreeze. I brought it inside. I had to run warm water over the safety to get it off safe. Then I ran it through my action, got it unloaded, and the whole time, like when I got it unloaded, and this is the video that you have, and it's the shell came out and it looked like a push pop. It was the shell,
2 or 3 inches of ice frozen on top.
Yeah,
of it,
it was like
I couldn't figure out what that was until you just said that.
Oh wow, yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I was like,
fucking
what the
ice.
fuck
I don't
is
know
that
how you
thing?
couldn't figure that one out.
I just the picture didn't connect with me. Until
Yeah,
that's what that is.
It literally slid out, and there was like 3 inches
Pink
of
ice. Yeah.
And then there's probably about 3 inches of mud in the top of my barrel from going nose down.
Yeah.
That's
All good,
cool, man. That's cool.
Birds were moving. We shot a handful. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's solid, man.
Mm-hmm.
So the plan for the boat was kind of like Jared and I breezed over. The original plan was Jordan and I were going to get out there early, stake the spot, and I was going to I have a little pop-up blind, bring it, and a Mr. Buddy propane heater, just sitting there and hang out.
Just hang out.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of cover there. It would have been perfectly fine. And so that was also going to be kind of my plan. You know, something happened, like we've got a hot tent, basically.
Yeah, you can.
Like we can sort you out, and
You are not able to turn the Mr. Buddy up hot enough, otherwise you'll melt the fucking tent.
If you've never used one,
they're
oh my gosh! Like during the big freeze, we ran it in the living room, hooked up to a big tank, and it kept our living room, which is decent size, at 70 degrees.
Yeah,
like they kick some heat.
I'm just amazed down there. There's so many. It's just not like people on the Tiki page were like, "My heater's not working. My heater's not working. My heater's not working. My heater's not working." Well, it's not that it didn't work. It's just that it's exactly what you said. Like we had our heater on 74 degrees and it was 68 in our house because it's just air all around the houses because they're up on stilts.
And there's no not a ton of insulation under the bottom.
Yeah, no, it's just
there's no need.
It's 2 days a year that it occurs. It was amazing that was like, and because
did you turn your heater, the Mr. Buddy, on?
Oh, we didn't even need to. It was like, don't walk around the house without socks on, and for keep the heater on.
You're just walking around the house all naked, but with just socks on.
That's the only thing about my house that I down there that I really don't like is that I've got all those windows, and like walking around, I don't have any like privacy really in terms of that.
Fucking own it, bro.
Oh, I do a lot of times.
Walk around bare ass.
I do,
cares?
but like when the ground is so cold, I'm putting socks on and I'm keeping myself covered up because it's
now I got to make sure I get you some really cool like patterned socks to wear around when you're just buck ass nude.
Dude, I love patterned socks.
Dude,
naked.
Yeah, it was cold. It was cold all the way down there.
Yeah,
I mean they had sea turtle rescues going on.
Bunch of frozen fish.
Austin dropped off the generator for me. In case power happened to go off, the grid got overloaded, and they shut down, did rolling blackouts or anything. And I mean, we had the heater on. I think at one point we had cranked the heater to 70, which is the highest
Speaking
I've ever
of which-
used a fucking heater.
Oh my
But
I have a link for you.
it was it
And
helped.
I have a
It
link
was
for you
good
too.
because
I have
I
a link
mean
for all of you to
the
see.
second we turn it off, just that house is old. The insulation's kind of
Drafty.
shit. Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
But we slept good, and then she finally bought a humidifier for our room, so I'm not waking up like, fucking beef jerky and just dried out and bloody nose. That's how it was when we were up in the fucking panhandle, dude.
Always.
Oh, it's
Woke
so
up
Always.
and I'm like, you got to get those morning boogers out, and it's just nothing but blood. Blech.
Always.
cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Always. Always.
No, that's when we discovered
it's so weird.
Michael Phelps. We were doing this.
That's not even funny to explain. It's only funny to us.
It is, but we're also two gigantic idiots.
Hunting trips are the best.
Yeah, everyone
Stay
knows
in a
that.
half garbage motel. It's great.
Yeah.
We
great.
stayed in that Motel 6 down in Louisiana.
Dude,
It was
it's
just
the
like,
best. No, we had a bottle of
Buffalo Trace.
and made a couple cocktails and watched The Office and went to sleep. And
I love
Solid.
No, we watched my 100.
so
my
funny.
oh
600
yeah, we
pound
started with
life.
that.
Oh,
You love what?
I love hunting trips like where you're going to a
me
destination.
too. And I like
you're
staying in garbage hotels.
it's so great.
It's just part of it.
It's so great.
The hotel was chill, man. They had some peanut butter cookies when we first got there. That
They
was tight.
didn't have coffee because something was wrong with the water. Like I just drank that. Like, are we square?
What do you
But
mean?
they
what's-
had no coffee in the lobby. So it's like, oh, all right, here goes.
They did have some sausage sandwiches and some cereal.
They had
that was cool.
pastries also. I like pastries. I mean, it's standard little hotel quality in.
I'll say this, and I say it every year. It is the time of the year where we're going into. You need to put in for hunts again. So
Right now?
well, in about
About 2 months.
2 months, a month and a half, depending on where it's at. It could be like in January. But for that elk hunt that I've done before, you need to be putting in, all three of you need to put in for that. And if you're going to start collecting points somewhere, you should start doing it. It's
any easier.
it's not even easier. The thing is that like if I would have, like I feel very much in the swing of like, okay, I wish I was doing this 5 years ago,
Of course.
10 years ago, because
I'm bad luck at this
what's that?
because I'll get drawn for something.
So
and
what,
then-
go.
And then there'll be something comes up and I won't be able to go.
Why?
I'll get the fucking flu again,
Here's the deal.
or
It's
I'll work or something. Will get in the way.
you've got to if you
yeah, but elk tags are different.
Yeah, if you
Right,
commit to a
most
hunt like that, like that's it.
you're going.
You're going.
This isn't a waterfowl hunt that's like whatever. It's
It's $1,000.
and the biggest thing is you can
1,000.
put
And
into
in some states you have to pay it up front, and they keep your money till you don't draw.
New Mexico is very much that way.
I've drawn twice
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it's
What do you think we can go? Can we go hunt some mountain lions in California?
sure.
You become an exterminator,
Let me tell you
and then
what.
the government pays you there to
Let me
hunt
tell you
mountain
what.
lions.
In Colorado right now, and I'm sorry, in California right now, you would be better off going into a Target and stealing $900 worth of shit
No,
than
they don't
shooting
care
a
about
mountain
that.
lion.
Yeah, they don't care about that.
A mountain lion, you're gonna get
So-
the fucking electric chair, and they'll dust that bitch off because they don't do the death penalty. You kill a mountain lion, they're gonna kill you.
What if I tell them that I've got gender dysmorphia? Will they go easy on me?
No,
Probably.
Yes.
100% no. If you kill an animal, they don't care what
He's
you
taking
are.
this way too seriously.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't care what you are. You're a fucking murderer.
I mean, animals are our friends.
Exactly.
And they're
Fish
also
are
delicious
food.
friends.
Food,
Shoot that
not
collared
friends,
motherfucker that's
right?
in fucking
Who was the guy?
Reseda.
There was some guy who was just talking about that mountain lion was some like the best meat he's ever had. I forget what I
It's
was watching.
pork.
It's like pork.
I want to try it,
Bobcat too.
but I also want to
Apparently.
do just a shoulder mount
Some
for
kitty
a
soup.
big cat.
I want a
Wanna
cat
do a
that's
shoulder
like
mount,
hanging
but then
off,
I want to do its
like
front
on
paws
the
like
ledge.
this. Like its shoulder mount, but just like
With
from
a
the
little
floor.
gold name
This is
tag that
paws.
says Michael Phelps.
Also, somebody on that Campfire Stories was calling.
Did
it
you
was-
listen to the first one or the second
I listened to
one?
both, and I just want to
Okay.
sidetrack real quick. The guy was talking about.
This is your sidetrack.
Yeah.
You're calling this the sidetrack. Of the
Oh, everything has been
okay.
sidetracked.
Go ahead.
He shot at a buck, and he couldn't find it that night, so he went by the next day, and then the buck charged him, and he had to
The
fight
corn
the buck.
and the corn?
But he was calling it front paws. He kept saying paws
my
instead of
God.
hooves,
Did he?
and I lost my
He
fucking
did.
mind.
And-
He
I
don't
calls them
remember that.
paws.
Oh,
Dude, that
no.
story.
So I felt like he got a pass maybe because Steve Ranella posted that on a fucking audiobook, but he calls him Paws.
It's that story that you're talking about, the one in the corn.
Yeah, in the cornfield, yeah.
That is crazy. That
Insane, dude.
to fucking
We're not going all the way through this.
wrestle a goddamn buck that you shot. Was it a black powder rifle or was it just a? I can't remember if it was.
It was shotgun. He was using those slugs because he kept bitching about those slugs, and he said, "I still got that box. It's just, I bought a box of 5, and 4 of them are still there."
Oh, Jesus
It's
Christ!
good shit. Anyways, yeah, front paw.
And 100%, it speaks to women. That particular story.
Go back to the truck.
Get the fucking kids out. Why? What's going on? Get the fucking kids out of the corn. Why? What's going on? Get the fucking kids out of the corn. Like, first of all, your husband's screaming, get the kids out of the fucking corn, and your
we'll
first
talk about this
response is,
Okay. See, you're.
why?
It's like I was driving and I was like, let me make this right turn real quick. And then he's in the passenger seat and grabbed the steering wheel and completely just hard turned us right. And we're doing a U-turn. Next topic, dude.
Yeah, sorry.
Let me sidetrack when I want to. Don't take over my sidetrack.
Yeah, you can't sidetrack the sidetrack.
Yeah,
You're
sidetrack the
sidetracking
sidetrack.
already.
Listen, we're already on
Boys
the
like to Mexico?
we're on the 5th degree of sidetrack right now. What were we talking about?
We have been pretty good in the sidetrack department here.
Can we change the name of our podcast to Sidetracked?
We tried a
That
podcast
can be the title
similar
of
to
this
that.
episode.
Hey, there's a Makin' Bacon song that is called Sidetrack.
Are you going to finish your sidetrack?
That's
You done?
gonna be your new nickname.
Making bacon?
Making bacon.
I made that name up.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Makin' Bacon.
Bacon. Bro.
What's this guy
That was
deal?
my sidetrack. I was just saying that guy called him Paws.
Where were we at before you sidetracked?
Before that, we were talking about
cheap hotels and honey
cheap
trips.
hotel and the pheasant trip, and how they had the snacks and the treats, and you couldn't get coffee, but it was real cold, kind of.
Yeah.
The hunt was cool. Travel hunts are really cool.
They're
and
the best.
And I'm 100% down to put in for some draw hunts. And the 2 hunts in Louisiana, like the first one, totally I was sick. No, like that one, I think I get a pass on. This last time,
Yeah.
I completely like. I had a certain role at work, which I've been shifted around, and it's like the street guy with the cup with the thing, and he's
shell
shuffling
game.
around. Yeah. That's what's gone on with me lately. And back then it was like, no, I need to be here, when really I should have just been like, you know what?
Fuck it.
I drew this fucking hunt. I need to leave.
I'm
and I should
gone.
have gone on the hunt.
So here's the thing on the draw hunt thing is you can 100% put in for things that you will not draw for.
And you
But you get
should.
points.
Yeah.
You're getting points. So that in 3 years when you're like, fuck, I want to go on this, you can burn 3 points and go. So, because if we played this right, 100% we could be killing elk every year, and another person steps up to the table and kills an elk. Because
He's kind of talking to you.
I know.
I'm talking to both of you and you.
I know. I'm just not good at committing to it.
Abe's the only one who's killed an elk.
It's true. 2.
I've been party
He's
to
been
party to 2.
He's killed
kill
one,
elks.
and
yeah.
And that's cool, dude.
it's awesome.
It's awesome. Good job.
You want to talk about having some gear?
Yeah, you bought in for this.
I'm good now.
For you. Mhm.
I need basically next year. I need to buy for 2023. I got to buy a piece of Tyvek. That's my last piece of gear to
You
buy.
get that at Home Depot.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I know.
Just making
Do
sure.
you know you can buy Tyvek cut specifically to camp on from eBay cheaper than you can from Home Depot?
No, that's cool. All right.
I mean, because you have to buy like
A roll.
you got to buy a lot, and it's like, what am I going to fucking do with this shit?
That makes sense.
And so now, if you needed some for the, to wrap Dan's fucking shitter in or something at the least, then we could go in halvesies on it. But, buying it on eBay to buy a sheet of it, that's the way to go.
Totally.
James is finally convinced to buy a goddamn insulated sleeping pad and a piece of Tyvek. He's just fucking straight cutting pine boughs and putting them on the ground. It's like, we're popping fucking air matches every year. Yeah, sleeping on fucking sticks, bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, because I would like us all to go on the mountain. That would be
Bears.
so much fun.
I mean, I'll go with you.
If
Why
I
can't I
was
just go?
when you were
Well,
invited.
yeah, you just have to invite. Dude.
Sure, next to him. I mean, look. Here's the deal.
We're all
In
going bear hunting if y'all want.
May, end of May, 1st of June.
Jared, come bear hunt.
Come bear hunt with us.
Go bear hunting.
Well,
Sugar
you guys
bear.
you guys wanting to go to like 1851 Club in Arlington or?
Oh, I see what you're doing
What
here.
part, like,
I
you
see
seem
where you're
really
going.
familiar.
I just called you
Yeah,
Sugar
how did you
Bear,
know a
and that
club
made it even better.
Specifically.
You knew it- you knew
my
a
name used
club
to be
name.
Taco Bear.
Taco
Hello.
Bear.
Hello.
Come,
Come
Jordan,
to,
you
come to
bear
Idaho.
hunt.
Come, my lady. What?
Come to
You
Idaho.
come bear
You
hunt.
my butterfly, sugar, baby.
Maybe.
It's cheap compared to
I was
anything
a little
else.
off. Sorry.
Yeah. The most expensive part is flying there.
Mm-hmm. And you can drive.
You know where
but-
the hell you can fly and have probably a better time? Fucking Mexico, boys.
You boys wanting to go to Mexico?
That's apples and oranges, Chief.
Yeah. Different types of fun.
Not if you go to Mexico to shoot some ducks.
You're not.
What?
I mean, totally into going to Mexico to shoot ducks, but you're not going to Mexico to shoot a bear.
I bet you could work that shit out real quick.
No.
A circus
No,
bear or something.
I'm not really sure that bears roam around Mexico.
Yeah, but they'll probably buy one and let it out.
Exactly.
And shoot it.
That's what I'm saying. A
I
circus
saw it.
bear or
I
something.
did see a tiger in a cage.
Don't they have the Mexican black bears, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
They got them down around Big Bend Park because they go back and forth between Tejas
That's kind of
and
up north towards New Mexico. And
Big Bend is?
I,
Big
mean,
Bend
I guess it's south.
it's not quite near New Mexico.
It's getting toward this.
It's near Mexico,
I feel like it's near.
not New Mexico.
It's closer to both than we are here.
He's got a point. Everyone's right.
Yes, friends.
Friends are friends.
We're
for-
gonna be friends. Hands across
Let's go.
America.
We got some duck hunts coming up. We got some fun times.
Dude, I'm so
Hogorama
pumped.
is-
Like
I'm ready for Hogorama
this
for us to
weekend.
sit together.
I'm excited to get you down there and shoot ducks. I'm excited for
I've
next
been
weekend because
there.
you are going.
I'm not gonna come down next weekend.
Are you coming down the last weekend?
Yes.
Probably not. I'm gonna go to that private land that I have access to in East Texas or West Texas.
That's fine.
Why is that dumb? There's a bunch of private land.
Come
Why
hang
would
out
I
with your
just go?
friends.
Why would I just go roll out to the pond at fucking 6:50 and go shoot some birds?
It ain't gonna be like
You're
this.
so fucking ridiculous. You're not gonna see what we're gonna see.
You're
It's
not
an
gonna see what
experience.
I'm gonna see.
Yeah, you watching fucking nothing in the sky.
Okay.
How many birds are gonna be in the sky down there?
I don't know.
Like a million billion.
What are you doing with all these birds?
That's a
you've
lot of
got?
billion.
Have you
eating
made
them.
anything yet?
I know.
I made a badass gumbo.
With what?
Ducks,
What else?
Ducks.
Rue and celery.
ducks, and elk sausage.
Relax yourself, brother.
Hey, brother.
You still got the, what about them sandhill cranes?
I have one little package of those left.
I found some sandhill crane thighs in my freezer.
Good
See?
for you.
It happens.
French toast is wrong with you guys?
It's not got like 30.
Yeah, braise those down.
When you,
make some tacos.
Or some sandhill crane ossobuco. But continue.
I have to tell you what
man.
I've been doing a
confit.
bunch is pulling legs off birds.
It's worth it.
Dude,
What do you do with them?
I'm going to do. I wanted to do confit.
Or you could do
No,
them
you
all like
haven't.
Oh,
Don't lie, dude. You're pulling my
we
legs.
sous vide them. And
Bazinga!
we quickly flash fry them and then make like duck chicken wings.
That was the other thing I
but
thought
like
would be
super
cool.
Asian style, like Buffalo Wild Wings Asian zing. would be tight.
Teriyaki, yeah, like
Dude, no, man. You gotta do the fucking garlic parmesan, bro.
No, Asian zing
super
dipped
good,
in
man.
blazing, but
I've just been saving.
you're
'cause
gonna
I'm like,
regret it. But it's
yeah, I'll tell you what,
delicious.
Sounds good.
pulling the
And
fucking
I
legs off a
I regret
teal is
nothing.
like
Regrets.
pulling the legs off a teal
regrets.
is like one of the most ridiculous things because you end up and you're like, oh, look at this little thing. Like,
Eat it raw.
I'm good.
Just
You
throw some
scared?
salt on it.
I am terrified.
Don't be scared.
Terrified. Yeah, absolutely
Do
terrified.
you use any duck carcasses to try to get crabs?
Absolute
All right, all right.
I haven't used
All
duck
right.
carcasses to get crabs. I've used fish carcasses to get crabs, and they
Yeah,
work very well.
That's a given.
yeah.
Guys, we want to thank y'all
Yeah.
for sitting through this
Look, if you are still in hour
high-speed police chase
158,
right now, that has been this podcast.
We're driving a white
episode.
Bronco.
White Bronco.
look, we need to do a little business here.
I was leaning up
we
to
need to do a little business here.
I got to plug one thing right now, and that's, really the moral of the story today is friendship. Don't abandon your friends. Like
my
You
Austin,
spun that so fast.
Austin didn't abandon Jordan. He was there to help him in a moment of need, and
felt
I
so
was there
vulnerable.
to support both of them. by secretly laughing. And, just make sure that you're
right.
there for your friends when they need you. And don't run away to the coast. And make new friends.
Jared's been
Oh my
very,
God.
very upset about
Dude, the
friends.
fact that you hunted with somebody today almost killed him.
You know he was just sitting at his desk, just
Like
sweating.
just pounding the desk like, why is this happening to me?
I typed a message in all caps. I feel like that was pretty clear.
Oh, it was.
No, we gathered.
We gathered. You were very hurt by the fact that Jordan hung out with somebody besides us.
Anyways, plug what you got to plug.
Well,
First.
Stormwater Creek has an Etsy store,
A gift shop.
a gift shop, if you will. We have
You can get
T-shirts.
souvenirs.
We have
can get your
souvenirs.
provisions.
knickknacks.
We have knickknacks. There's all manners of
Handmade
things.
goods are coming your way soon.
We have new shirts going up tomorrow.
Shirts are up now.
There's 2 new shirts going up tomorrow.
What I'm saying is that by the time they're listening to
Oh,
this,
yeah.
it will
Damn, fucking
now.
lawyered
Yeah.
on that
He's got a
one,
good
bro.
point. This isn't going out tonight.
That's totally
So-
fair.
So there
That's
are
on-
there
that's
now.
on me.
They're there.
It's
they're
100% on me.
They are there now.
They are there.
There are stickers that are awesome.
All the stickers are
You know?
You
We've
could
got
maybe
other
get a ball
ideas.
cap.
Stuff's coming.
Yes. There's ball caps. There are some duck straps.
We are making duck straps from hand for you because we care.
And they're affordable.
I make these
They're affordable.
overseas with my family to feed bread and soup. Please buy duck strap. Thanks, Ishmael. We appreciate your plug here for our products.
Ishmael. It's the least Russian name ever.
Who said he was Russian?
You sounded Russian.
That wasn't me. That was Ishmael. I don't
I know.
remember.
Russian. I fucking blew the
Yes!
fourth wall. I blew the
This
fourth
is
wall.
awesome.
All right. Cut. Do that again. Take 2.
Hello, my name is Victor. Please buy duck strap so I can go
Victor's
back
much
to
better.
Russia and fight the goddamn Ukraine.
The goddamn Ukraine. Thank you for joining the podcast, Victor, from St. Petersburg, I believe.
Yes, this is my home. I
Leningrad.
love it here I live in Leningrad for 4 years and moved to St. Petersburg. My family is in America. Death to traitors.
So you sent your family to America, but you stayed?
Yes, for vodka and beaches.
You sent your family to America for vodka and bitches.
They don't come back home with
Did
cigarette
you get
or
vodka or
lottery
bitches,
ticket.
or did they get vodka and bitches?
I don't know. I'm drunk, my friend.
Oh, okay. Well, Victor, we appreciate you joining us on the podcast today, all the way from Leningrad. Is
Das vidanya.
World War II still going on over there?
Every day, my friend.
Every day. Okay, cool. I like that. So, Etsy store.
What's this guy's deal?
What's Etsy store? Stickers, shirts. Follow us on the social media.
What else we got? Is
I
that,
don't know,
is
there's
that
some
all we have on the store?
There's some
Hats.
quality reels coming out on our account, so lots of good stuff.
We can make bath towels.
Bath
Oh my
towels.
We
God.
can make soy candles.
We
Need
need
like a
we need
corked
dry-
soy
we need
candle?
Corked. Yeah.
We need
Austin
Stormwater
at
Creek dry bags.
stormwatercreek.com.
For extra
I
Corked
will
is
make it
actually the
for
name
you.
of our new wine that's coming out.
Oh my god!
It's uncorked.
Jared,
Oh.
Coming soon.
Cut!
guys.
We're gonna have to
cut,
trademark
cut,
that before we
TM'd.
edit this.
that's
I mean,
James. If you can get on that
done.
shit
James,
immediately,
handle this.
Handle that.
Shout out to Cutting Edge Outfitters. We love you guys.
And Texas Hog Bait, old Jackie in his new shop. He's got some big stuff coming.
Appreciate
does.
you, brother. AccuFire Technologies. You guys are okay.
You make real sweet thermals.
You do make
And
some sweet
pistol
thermals.
optics.
How much longer until I can see your thermals on another Amazon show? Was it Amazon or was it Netflix?
It was on Amazon. Yeah.
It was on Amazon
Soon.
Prime.
I don't know that they're going to do another
There-
season of that though.
There are
that was
things
kind
What's the
coming
deal
at SHOT
with-
Show that'll be cool.
What's the deal with the new there's like a topographic cover on one of them? Not cover,
No,
but
that's lasered in.
like lasered etched in. That looked sweet.
Oh
dude.
my gosh.
All right. Anyway, so really, shout out to our friends. We
Yeah.
appreciate y'all. You are really cool people.
Did you say high and dry already?
High and dry.
those things are
Jordan
awesome.
Stockton, man.
And Jason Wallace.
You guys seriously check out their website.
You were
I fucked off for a second on them and
Yeah,
finally
you
got
were
one. And I say
questioning.
that. You guys had them, and then I was like, okay, these things are fucking cool,
Let me
but
ex-
I can't just like hop on the train right away. And then I finally bought one, and yeah, these
I
things
feel like
are
if you're
fucking
2
tight.
hours into this, you realize how much Dr. Duck means to me and how much I
Not anymore.
discarded that Dr. Duck bag for that high and dry bag and haven't even looked back.
Billy,
it's been
Dennis, we still love you guys too.
Yeah.
Abe really misses
If
you.
Billy and Dennis are listening at 2 hours, I'll tell you what, they've been on the struggle bus this year. They have had I've been paying attention. They've had a hard time killing ducks this year. It seems like they got it. They're getting it down now, but they've had a
Don't
real
forget to like
lull.
and subscribe. Some new content coming out on YouTube soon.
Stormwater Creek Etsy.
And Q Braley.
Stormwater Creek is the best. Grinch, the captain. Abe, the helper. Jordan, the problem solver. I hope you like Stormwater Creek. Stormwater Creek.